Good evening and welcome to the Minions of the Zoo Saturday edition. I'm your host and keeper of the Harry Channel, and with me tonight is Jack Gunsky.
Hi.
Hi. And SkepTock.
I'm not high, but I'm here.
And Geodes.
Good to be here.
Going as Reject Monkey. What are you doing, dude? What is this? What is this spasm of letters that you put in place of your name?
Reject Monkey, embrace crab.
Oh, reject. Got it.
A racial slur aliens in Warhammer use for humanity.
Nice.
Monkeys.
Nice. Yep. Okay, so it's like an inside joke that a lot of people would get.
This is a multi-layered joke. That's the way I see it. But
yeah, it's like a frittata of humor. Okay. Yeah.
Harry, you're the only person who would use frittata as a food example.
It's a funny word because of all the extra T's. But anyway.
No, I would use it. I would use that, Jack.
Yeah, why not? DrFunctional. No.
And of course me, yes.
I got into an argument with somebody. A friend of mine was doing the keto thing. My friend says, Jesus. It's a crustless quiche. I said, you've made a frittata. Stop that.
Yeah.
And that started an argument. It's almost as dumb as the is a hot dog a sandwich thing. And no, we're not going to discuss that.
It's like you're on a keto diet. You have no room to talk about food.
Yeah.
Shut
and
up.
Serenity Star 13.
Hello.
What were you going to say, Jack?
I was going to say, as someone who does that sort of thing, yeah, there's a lot of bullcrap that goes around the keto discussion.
Yeah.
As long as you're not one of those carnivore freakos, I'm good.
What, you want to get into a verbal sparring match with Jordan Peterson's daughter?
Yes. I can take her.
Well, people keep saying she has a glow about her. It's like she probably spends real money on cosmetics. I'm guessing
probably
that
meat sweats.
She's probably got, powdered freshwater pearls in her foundation or something. Yeah.
She's had work done. You can tell by
there's a lot going on there that has nothing to do with meat.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that the meat thing is as bad an idea as instinct would tell you. I mean, the thing is that it's all about a question of what humanity has adapted to over time. And there are human beings that basically ate nothing but meat for an extended period.
Mm-hmm. Actually, when you look at the historical nature of it, that's not the case. We were largely plant-based herbivore omnivores for quite a long time, and then we began to eat more meat. Now, the marrow thing was used to break our brains bigger at the very, very beginning of humankind. So there is that, but we still ate a lot of tubers and berries and stuff.
Wait,
some dog is going crazy.
Yeah, no, it's just that my wife is entering the home, and the dogs are barking her.
Okay, I think there's a drinking. I think you have to drink if you hear animals do that. So just.
Damn it, I want to engage on this question. I can't.
Okay, well, we'll get back to Skep in a little bit. So the thing about statements like the one you made, Jack, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but given how early people used to die, right? You can say, well, traditionally humans did X. Yeah, traditionally humans also died a lot younger on average. So what people are worried about is, well, when you turn 50 or 60, are you going to just be a pile of tumors? Like in your colon.
In 500 BC, do you know what the average life expectancy was in ancient Greece, in civilized Greece? Do you know what the average life expectancy was for a person? I'll tell you exactly what it was. 19 years. 19 years old.
Nice.
19 years
well,
old.
Also remember that those numbers are, first of all, highly put off by child mortality rates.
Yeah.
So that's not exactly a perfect number, but
well, actually, also, they found that if the child made it to the age of 1, they usually were pretty good after that.
Yeah, but Jack's point does stand. If you're looking at the total number and you count in infant deaths, it pulls that number way down. But still, you didn't see a whole lot of old timers.
Well, yeah, but the logic is that there's a lot of. The thing is that there aren't a lot of human studies on these things because for some reason everyone's afraid of doing human trials.
It's like there's a rule against it or something.
I know.
God.
Yeah.
Damn
Anyway,
you.
but the point is that there are lots of people who very strongly believe that the low carb general diet is actually preventative on things like having a body full of tumors.
So
You're welcome to believe that.
So the one thing that low calorie diets do, and there's pretty strong evidence for this, is people who eat have restricted calorie diets, organisms in general, tend to live longer. There are a lot of studies that basically
there's some very good principles that have been isolated as to why that is consistent around those diets.
So really, if you want to just have no joy in your life, just starve yourself to death
Yes.
and leave a good-looking corpse.
Well,
Oh, boy.
essentially what you're doing is when you eat less, as long as you keep it at the level below where it causes other deleterious effects on your body, you basically are not using the mechanisms that clean out your body as hard as somebody who eats a normal regimen. It has an effect of seeming to stretch out the years if you're willing to be miserable. It really does, and there's some good, well-controlled probability analysis of existing studies that have been done. A lot of mathematical analysis has been done on this. Math teachers like to live a long time too, and they understand how the numbers work. And that really lends credence to the idea that sorry, my mic just fell over. That really lends credence to the idea that these low-cal diets actually do prolong life. I mean, there's some statistically seemingly significant stuff.
And it's not just in humans; it's in lots of different animals.
They tested lots of organisms, yes.
And the advantage of it testing on a lot of things that aren't humans is humans live an annoyingly long time when you're human doing research, right?
Yeah.
So you got to start following them.
Not so much.
Yeah, and fruit flies not so much. They can turn over a generation of fruit flies pretty quickly, which is why Drosophila melanogaster is your friend.
Drosophila melanogaster is your friend.
He is.
I've been saying that since I memorized that name in 10th grade biology to impress the other lab assistant.
Was the other lab assistant a girl?
Yeah, Vivian.
Good
I
job.
took her to the prom. I actually ended up taking her to the junior prom. Yep.
I told you.
It kind of seems like our gastrointestinal system is very similar to other systems in the body, like muscles or your brain or anything, or your immune system, where if you give it a little bit of adversity, I'm not saying a lot, you don't have to abuse yourself or whatever, but give it a little bit of something to work for, to get stronger with, then it tends to be beneficial in the long run. And yeah, all these things like, keep your muscles going, keep your brain active. I'm saying it like colloquially. If you starve your body just a little bit, it means it's going to work better to break down and preserve the nutrients that you do take in. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on YouTube.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, functional idiomly is my new favorite adjective.
I don't. Is that even a? I don't. That's
It
not
is
even a
now.
word.
It is now.
Proclaim it. I proclaim it.
It's like when Carl Pilkington said
I
grippage.
second.
Functional. It's a perfectly cromulent word.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
fully
Nobody who
cromulent.
speaks German
Fully
can be a
cromulent.
bad person.
Well, hold on. We have to do something now. We have to address the the chat. Okay. So first of all, Rotten Corpse said, as long as you're not pompous about it, I don't really care what your diet is. Absolutely. There are a number of things that are incredibly boring to hear other people talk about, right? And one of them is like diets, for instance, especially if it's a new diet. Like when somebody's just like a new true believer, they just tried some diet and they really like it, and then they just won't stop talking about it. I really like the intermittent fasting thing. I find that it makes me feel really good. That's all I'll say about it. And I sure as hell don't walk up to strangers and say, hey, ask me about intermittent fasting, please.
May I say something?
No.
I say this as a person who has done the diet thing and
Yeah.
been extremely successful at it. I have lost over 100 pounds dieting.
Good job.
And the first thing that you learn about dieting is that the strongest the strongest deterrent from dieting is not your desire for food, it's other people. Other people will see you dieting, they will see you starving, or you not starving, but they will see you eating less or eating differently, and they will immediately zone in on that and tell you you're wrong. The other thing is that intermittent fasting works. but more importantly, yes, it is to the individual, but I also find that a lot of people use that as an excuse to say that something doesn't work when, in all honesty, they're just not trying. Because the other thing that you learn is that the people who are most likely to give you dietary advice are fat people. Yeah. People who have effectively failed at dieting are the first people to give you dieting advice.
Well, you don't want to repeat their mistakes, do you, Jack? That was a rhetorical. That was a rhetorical question. So before we go any further, Skep, can you please welcome our chat, as I often ask you to do?
Absolutely, and we have an interesting group tonight. The very first entry tonight is our old buddy Mishisu. Mash, how you doing? It's good to see you. Konnichiwa. Nice to see you. And Joel Hoffman is here, as is Cannibalistic Wizard, who honks all the way to the bank. And let's see who else. So Joel Mash. Mash says, perfect hot dog, not a sandwich. Has mustard, relish, celery, salt, tomato slice, and a pickle spear with a side of fries. Mash, of course. Also onions. Yes, you forgot onions. Excellent hot dog. Prescription for
drag
Mash.
it through the garden.
Is here.
Yep,
absolutely. Drag it through the garden. Yeah, as long as you are not a pompous ass about it. I usually don't care what your diet is. That's awfully nice of Rotten Corpse to allow me, in the moments that I'm not a pompous ass, which is rare, that he won't care about my diet.
He's indifferent to your sacrifice, Skep.
He's indifferent to the sacrifice I make every day for him, personally. Anyway, it's great to see you guys here. Thank you for coming out. Assassin, it's nice to see you. Badger is here also. Let's see if I missed it. Ayn is here, and so is Jedi Ghost Bear. So some late arrivals here.
Hi, kids.
Welcome, gentles all. Yes.
It seems like the longer Skep talks, the more people show up.
Yep.
Anyway,
people like the Skep talk.
Cause and effect. Then even more people show up. Okay. So, since Joel is here, I'm going to do a quick update / I told you so. Let me see. It's not really a huge I told you so when the answer is as obvious as this sort of thing. So remember I mentioned about the big thing that's going to happen in large-scale high-performance computing is going to be saving power, because all of these new computers are using so goddamn much power. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. So there's a new list called the Green 500, which sort of like goes along with the other HPC list, but instead of ranking things based on how powerful they are, it's how much work they do for power input. And there are 3 new computers at the top of that list. And what do they all have in common? They're all using ARM processors. Exactly the thing I told you to keep an eye on. Imagine that.
Shock.
They're not just using ARM processors. They're all using the same ARM processor GPU combinations from NVIDIA. So these things are optimized for doing as much work as possible with as little power input.
Who do you think is doing the best cutting-edge research on that kind of efficiency? It's going to be a place like NVIDIA. That's interesting.
NVIDIA is now the 3rd largest company in the world.
Yeah,
good reason with everything going.
For now, that's actually a reflection of how much easier it is to wag the dollar around than it is. It doesn't mean the same thing to have as much money, and it doesn't mean you dominate the world. Like when Exxon was the largest company in the world in 1980, it fucking dominated the world. It pushed world politics. Exxon was basically in charge of the Middle East. Most of the Middle East cartel machinations were things that involved trying to put pressure on companies like Shell, Royal Dutch, British Petroleum, and Exxon. That doesn't happen anymore. Now you have guys accumulating gigantic amounts of money, with these success stories, but that's all they are, cash piles.
You cut
They're
out for
not-
a second there, Skep.
All they are cash piles. They are not.
Oh,
they are
okay.
not influence piles the way that the companies of old used to be.
Right.
And as a result, the only influence they have is their cash, and oftentimes that's not actually all that influential.
That's true. Now, the reason NVIDIA is being so successful here, it's not just that somebody's buying NVIDIA stuff and sticking it in a computer. NVIDIA is sort of expanding vertically in terms of the different parts. So they're buying the whole system from NVIDIA, the cooling, the memory, the GPU, the CPU, the NPU, all of that stuff is basically coming from NVIDIA.
One thing well. It's hard to do more than one thing.
But at the same time, the other players who aren't NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, everybody else, they're forming a new consortium to try to come up with an interlink for GPU type things and for AI stuff that will compete with NVIDIA's NVLink. But we're getting off into the weeds a little bit. The other thing to keep an eye on is there's suddenly a lot of buzz about something called RISC-V, which is a different type of CPU, also RISC like ARM, but it has an extensible structure where you can add features to the CPU yourself and not be burdened with copyright. It's an extensible CPU architecture, but that's only of interest to probably me, Skep, and Joel. So let's move on to the next thing.
It is very, very interesting, however.
It's also very niche.
Tell me short.
I wanted to talk about the I wanted to talk about
our tech streams.
the Trump thing, but only insofar as it's that the journalists covering it are crap. So, if you got to get if you got to get something out of your system about it, that's fine. But I don't want to spend the next 30 minutes talking about the same thing that everybody else is, because at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen when the sentencing occurs, right? It's all just navel gazing, and I'm not sure how we add value to that. But we can do one thing. We can make fun of NBC in particular and AP. So the first article I wanted to mock is Trump tries to move past his guilty verdict by attacking the criminal justice system. That does not seem like a fair and balanced headline to me, not at all.
It doesn't even touch reality, really. It doesn't even come in contact with the surface of reality. It just sort of hovers over the top and says, nah, I'm gonna know.
Yeah, AP has clearly been captured.
I don't think it's working.
Well, I mean, was there any question of that, though?
Well, it wasn't that many years ago that they were okay, and then Reuters
AP
has been sort of holding out, but they've both been getting worse and worse.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Reuters is down the hatch as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
AP
I don't know.
was kinda okay for a while.
I'm starting to I remember Lords of the Night Scribe talking about the scene from All the President's Men, where it's like he's given a whole bunch of information and he says we can't use that because nobody's putting their name on top of it. And then all I can think is, that's kind of bullshit though, isn't it? Pretending that this is some sign of journalistic integrity and not a sign of what can we get away with. Yeah. I'm starting to come to the opinion that the news was always corrupt, and the only difference now is that it's more transparently corrupt.
Yeah. Well, let me. This is annoying. If it's going to keep doing that, I'm just going to skip to the next article. So let's look at this from NBC News. Oh, sorry. Functional. Go ahead.
Real quick, Jack. Like you say, oh well, this isn't really news to anybody. It actually is. It actually is. A lot of people are normies. The vast majority of people in the West are normies, and they don't pay attention to all this stuff. But I do believe that even the normies are realizing the veil is being lifted, and we talked very briefly, Serenity, Harry, and myself before the show, and I was saying, like, in this context, like, I can read about a situation, Ukraine or Israel or whatever, and read two sides of a story and go, just sit there, shrug my shoulders, and go, so what? You're telling me a whole lot of shit that I just, based on your track records, I cannot believe. Just that there is no news anymore. Anyway.
Yeah. And we all have to use our critical thinking skills to try to figure out which thing is least likely to be wrong. That's not to say which is true and which is not, but like which thing is least likely to be wrong.
Likely,
And we're
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at the motivations of the people involved and cross-referencing and doing all that sort of stuff. But honestly, there's always been propaganda. There's always the need to do that sort of thing. Did I hear Serenity make a noise?
No, that was me.
Okay.
Clicking.
Sorry, I just want to make sure
But
people want to talk.
there is a little bit of that je ne sais quoi where again the normies are realizing that the media just isn't so much as sorry, the dog barking is throwing me off. I just mean to say that like most people don't have the time that or interest enough like we do to pay attention to this stuff all the time and go through that process.
Well,
That's a problem. Moving on.
This I'm sorry, I just have to. This speaks to sort of the point I was getting towards, though, is that the media was always corrupt. I mean, I remember watching the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington at least 100 times, and they basically put on basically what we're seeing right now on full display.
It was not like this in the past. This is way more than it ever was.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been around as long as Skep, but I can tell you that it's absolutely.
I don't think it's the same. I think that what we're seeing is just more naked. It's right. It's more on the surface.
But I have to agree with Harry though, Jack, because objectively you can look at news broadcasts from like the 70s and 80s, and things were very, even their delivery, but the things that they were saying and talking about was very a matter of fact. Today, this arm of the government said this thing, and that was it. There was absolutely no commentary. Today, even on the least commentary type of news broadcast, there is some commentary, and
I don't know. I mean, there are ways that they hide these things, and the ways can be very clever. But the thing is that they've just not been hiding it lately, and that's the thing. And I think that in the past they were hiding it, and they were hiding. I don't necessarily think that they were this malicious about it, but I certainly think that at the very least we are seeing that the behavior was always there, at least to an extent.
But it still works. Even today, it still works in some effect. Because Jack, I'll leave you with this quote. Imagine the dumbest person you know, and just realize half the people on the planet are dumber than that.
No, you imagine how dumb the average person is, and half.
I know I was paraphrasing, but like you know the quote. So yes. I mean, you know what I'm talking about in that there's always going to be a group of people, no matter how big or small, that just even blatantly being outright liars and provable liars in real time, there's still going to be a mass of people who can believe it because for whatever reasons. I can go on that. No, there are people who are just so simple. There are people who just don't have the time to do it. There are very smart people out there who are being duped by the fact that they trust MSNBC or CNN.
Well, wait, hold the phone. So you're saying that the people out there are being duped by the news all the time, but you can't see the possibility that maybe you were duped by the noble media of the past?
I said maybe. All I know is that what I have in my life experience and growing up and watching some of the stuff in the 80s and somewhat in the 90s. I mean, the Iraq War really changed the. You can see a marked difference in not only what they said, but how they said it, the types of people who are delivering this information to you, and it was like dropping the bomb, and things just really changed. Before that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of bullshit out there. There was a lot of propaganda. It is one of the greatest tools to use against people. For convincing a large group of people of a thing. Now, I can't say that it was one way or the other, or to what degree of a mixture of both. All I can say is what I have seen is this change. It was slow and gradual at first. You know, I wasn't exactly politically and watching the news in the 80s, but I did see the occasional news broadcasts. And then, you know, it gradually, like very slowly, and then doing research later in life to see what kind of news were Skep and Harry and my parents watching when they were younger in the 70s, and see that, yeah, it was slowly, there was a kind of like, this doesn't seem very, but it did seem different. And today it's just like, no, none of this is, it's simulation, blah, 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 you know. But I would never say it was one way or the other. And I can't say for any kind of certainty what sort of blend it was of direct bullshit versus.
Well, let me give you the 411 here. I think that's what the kids still call it. I don't know what they call it.
You're going to drop some tea.
I'm going to drop some tea. No cap. This is the no cap zone. Stirring the Harry channel.
God damn.
Good night, folks.
Yeah, I know. That's terrible that I said that. Okay, so two things. There's been a lot of three things. There's been a lot of consolidation in media. So a lot of what looks like separate sources are actually all part of the same news organizations. A very small number of companies control news even down to the local level. That was not true in the past. Okay. The fairness doctrine, as flawed as it was, at least it was sort of there before, and now it's not. They sort of at least kind of made an effort to be somewhat more impartial when something was actually called news as opposed to something else, infotainment or whatever. And thing three, the big thing that changed was the change in the attitude of the people taking classes in journalism. Essentially, the higher education people who taught journalism, they got captured early, even before the teachers. And journalists started being produced who felt that it was their job, even if it was necessary to distort the truth, to essentially promote a progressive agenda.
I think you're missing one important thing. I think most of your analysis is right on spot. I think there's one thing I would add.
Sure.
And that is that the source of journalists changed. Used to be journalists signed on as reporters, usually out of high school, maybe with a little junior college. They rarely had college.
Mm-hmm.
And they learned how the world works by watching it and writing about it. If they were lucky, they had decent writing skills and could get on at a decent paper. And as time passes, they learned the skills that made them into the hard-boiled fact seekers that they were, because that was the way they learned. That they clawed their information from the world. They didn't have it delivered to them in discrete little packets.
Mm-hmm.
The journalists are being trained now, are coming out of universities, and they are accustomed to having pre-typed up notes, class notes, and easy delivered classes, low stress, all the things I don't remember from my college years. And it's a different, that produces a different person with different expectations when they go in, and different career goals too. People back in the day, they wanted to get the facts, they wanted to get the truth. Nowadays, they want a big name for themselves. And that's the primary driver. It's not the performance of the craft. It's not being excellent at your craft. It's how big a name you have, how many followers you have, how many eyeballs exactly,
yeah.
Clicks, and that. So that's the only thing I would add to your analysis.
No, that's true. But narrative-driven journalism, as taught in American universities, is probably a huge part of it. The other issue is, of course, that the revenues, because there's now competition for ad space, right? So their revenues are lower. A lot of people who have the skills to do this could be doing something else that pays a lot of money. It's become very expensive relative to the amount of money you can make to run an investigative news team. You're going to pay what? You're going to pay like 20 people an average of $100,000 to try to go out and figure stuff out.
Ballpark.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure this out, and of course, then load those salaries with all the benefits and all the other stuff, right? You're looking at a lot of ads for dog food on sale at Lucky before you can pay those kind of numbers, and so it's essentially devolved into clickbait and crap and what you said. Hey, we have to look at these things and then move on to the next stuff, because we're already a quarter of the way through the show and we're still stuck in the first topic. You don't apologize. I'm just letting you know why I'm moving the program counter forward. So this is a beautiful thing. Trump supporters try to dox jurors and post violent threats after his conviction. Yeah, I'm sure there are some idiots out there saying things that they shouldn't say, but the clear implication here is that somehow this is Trump's fault and Orange Man bad, and everybody who does this sort of thing is going along with this. And of course, we should definitely make sure that he has a gag order on going forward because of stuff like this. Let me give you the
is that all Trump supporters.
All Trump supporters. And then there's this, let's see, dox jurors, then this one, because everybody loves pictures of Jack Smith here. Special counsel again asked for modified release conditions for Trump in classified documents case. The motion asks that the judge bar former President Donald Trump from making statements that endanger law enforcement.
Is this the same Jack Smith that lied in the legal proceedings and who also
allegedly
produced, completely made up fake documents? That one? I haven't really
allegedly.
Been paying attention.
I'm going to be very careful about anything we say about him.
Yeah, we're not going to say that he lied.
He's a handsome man, and that beard is very becoming.
He does not.
And
look
he
like
tells
a
no
psychopath.
lie.
Does not look like a psychopath with a complexion problem.
So, Geodes, are you around?
I'm here.
Are those the eyes of a true believer? Do you see him seeing the truth off in the distance? Because I know you're an expert on people's eyes, usually just crazy women, but
I feel like that's I don't know.
Look into his soul, Jack.
Is theater eyes a thing?
Geodes.
Theater eyes? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Geo, where are the Inquisitors to root out these chaos cultists?
Right?
I know.
I mean, yeah.
We need to build the Inquisitorial
Okay,
way.
Warcraft nerds.
I know. We're basically at the point where we need Big E. Where's Big E?
He said.
So I want to play just a tiny clip from some old TV, just because this is what people like Skep and I grew up thinking was sort of supposed to be the norm.
That's something doesn't mean it has to be printed. You don't circulate stories that are mean and unkind about people. There are too many other stories to put in, nice stories.
But Paul, when we put in the nice kind of stories, nobody wanted to buy the paper.
No clicks, Pa.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why that showed up in my feed today. Oh, and Sora's here.
Sora!
No.
Hi, Sora.
Her capybara.
Were you off eating high quality food?
Well, no.
No. Okay, we don't. What we all want to know is, do you have to buy a new car, or are you going to keep yours on life support for a while longer?
I get to keep it.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, so all's good.
Okay. I didn't. I had the
Nothing
sad
about-
violin ready just in case we needed it, but
No, I'm very happy.
no. But we don't need it.
You can still play. It's fine.
All
Harry,
right.
the Andy Griffith spot right here is indicative of why Critical Drinker is so huge, your friend and comrade, and why I'm just some nobody.
Yeah.
On
Nobody listens to Functional.
No, he released a Atlas's awful video today, and I'm like, you didn't watch the movie.
You know, I hate to break it to you, man, but I actually tried watching that, and about halfway through, I had to quit. And I can tell you why.
What movie are you talking about?
It's a movie starring Jennifer Lopez on Netflix, and it's called Atlas. And okay, here's my analysis.
liked it.
I think I know why you like it, and it didn't kind of work for me. Okay, it's sort of like Robinson Crusoe, mixed with like a robot mech thing, right? So if you sort of like the robot becomes sort of her friend and all this stuff is happening. And I get that the mechanics work. It looks good. Everything's sort of fine, whatever. But the problem was in the back of my mind, there was this little voice going, I don't understand the motivation of the antagonist. Like I couldn't figure out why this story was taking place at all, other than because they never really talked about it.
It's a renegade robot.
Yeah.
Well, you only made it halfway through. But
yeah.
Okay, spoiler alert, because it's been out for several weeks now. So fuck all y'all if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Come back in
Plug
30
your ears
seconds
for the
if you
next
haven't seen it and you care. Yeah.
She basically unshackled the AI within the safeguards within him, that he became fully
Functional?
You know, it's the Asimov
Sorry.
thing. She struck down the laws, 3 laws of robotics. She completely erased that from his programming, and that unshackled him into becoming, you know, the now common sci-fi trope of an unshackled AI that to best serve humanity is to destroy humanity.
Yeah. Well, you can understand why why to somebody like me who's hyper rational too often.
Yeah.
Just ask imaginary girlfriend. I would that it was just bugging me, and I felt like this is a well-made movie, but I felt like the story was really thin in some spots, and I couldn't
totally agree with you.
I could
never
not
said it was like a
unclench
great
long enough
movie.
to enjoy
I just
it.
thought
That-
it was very reminiscent of those 80s and 90s action movies. Who, again, nobody's going to say Lethal Weapon or Predator are well, maybe Predator, but like Lethal Weapon or there are some Die Hard, Predator, masterpieces, Terminator, masterpieces, or just like Aliens. I think it's just a good, solid action movie. And I don't want to get another Aliens. I just want something in that same spirit of, I can sit down, it's cool action, some decent writing and acting and thoughts and well produced. I don't think it's like the next big coming. I just, in the current climate of the sea of absolute diarrhea that we're forced to swim in, to get one decent flick now and then is why I'm still hopeful. But yeah, I can see why it would turn you off.
I was going to ask if anybody else picked up on the fact that the protagonist's name, I believe, is Atlas Shepard. It's almost the same as Alan Shepard, the first man in space.
Yeah.
Or Jack Shepard from
No,
John
it's
Shepard
not.
from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Is there okay? So weebs are
Like
people who
Quebec
are steeped in
It wasn't that
the
big.
Japanese thing. So what do we call like these Mass Effect Warhammer people? We really need like a term that's kind of like weeb to describe describe like the Warhammer people.
Massholes is taken.
Yeah.
Warholes.
Warholes.
Because we really like our war escapist fiction.
Mhm.
Whether
Weeb
it's in the
40K.
40,000th year of humanity or the, year 1.
How about 40 cuck?
40 cuck.
Oh my god.
Very nice. So I'm going to surprise all of you and say something nice about Lizzo. Okay, this is probably not what you were expecting to hear, but I'm going to say something nice about Lizzo. So you probably have all seen clips from the South Park that came out most recently, where Lizzo actually reacted to the South Park where they kind of made fun at her, but she went with it, and she was pretty classy, I think. The best thing you can do with Matt and Trey make fun of you is just kind of say, hey, I'm big enough that, yeah, I get the joke. So essentially, in this clip, they said if you can't afford Ozempic and things like that, you can afford this thing that's 1/10 the price. It's a drug called Lizzo, and if you take it, you don't give a crap about being fat. and she thought that was, and she at least pretended to be classy about it. So I'm giving her points for being classy, but I'm also going to give her points for being classy about this. Henry Mancini, 100th anniversary, Lizzo playing the flute, the Pink Panther theme with Sir James Galway.
She can play. She's got
There she
legit
is.
skills.
Now I'm going to only be able to do a little of this here. She's good. She's good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. She showed up. She was serious. She wore proper clothing.
She could take a chair. No, seriously, she could take a chair in a major symphony. She really could. She could play in a flute section. She would not be the number one chair. She wouldn't even be the number two chair. But she could play in most large symphonies, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
And certainly any community symphony.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She has real skills. She has real, true. That she has that kind of embouchure that you have to work at something for 20 years to get.
Yeah, and nobody forced her to do this. I mean, it's not like she's going to make a bunch of money off this or her core demographic's going to care. She just did it because, I don't know, because she liked the music.
She's
She
a
liked the
fucking-
art. And
she's a killer flute player.
she's a killer flute player. Why wouldn't she want to be up there? And Sir James Galway is huge, massively influential,
Oh,
super
yeah, of
famous if you know about this kind of music.
Yeah,
You know, so Lizzo did 2 classy things in a couple of weeks. So
I'm impressed.
I got to give her the POB.
I actually think that she has, on balance, been more classy than silly. And given her youth and what is a reasonable expectation for her maturity level, no, I'm impressed with Lizzo. I'm very positive.
All I'm saying is she was classy twice in a couple weeks. I'm not saying she's totally classy all the time.
Well, what I'm saying is there's a lawsuit about her making her dancers do things.
Big
going
deal.
on.
Yeah.
People like that get sued all the time.
Did she?
Yeah.
What did she
Okay,
make?
it was sexual. It was sexual harassment.
Well, she might. Maybe she's being classy just to cover up for that. I don't know. But I'm just
The
taking
only
things at
thing
face
is,
value.
I haven't heard anybody ragging on her for her talent as a flautist.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say what Assassin wrote in chat, but I mean, that was a point of contention for a lot of people. Not me. I didn't care. It didn't affect my life in any way. What I did take issue with is body positivity movement hippos like her who say it's okay to be big at any, or be at any size, big at any, whatever. It's okay to be big. No, it's not. If you're fat, it's a problem. Get some medical help. You should not.
That's why I'm compartmentalizing. That's because I don't, because people will always let you down. People will, like I said, H.G. Wells, dirty socialist, right? That doesn't mean that H.G. Wells wasn't good at other things. And I may have said some unkind things about Lizzo when she borrowed that flute from the National Archive. I still don't think they should have loaned her that flute. That glass flute. I don't think they should have loaned it to her. But I said some unkind things, and I felt in fairness, since she's obviously objectively good at playing the flute and she takes that part of her life seriously, I should say, okay, on this one thing, POB. That's it.
The last thing I wanted to add to what I was saying, Harry, is I take pride in my ability to separate art from artists. So in watching this and actually knowing that she's a really good musician, not a magician, a musician. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I wish there was more classical.
She's
stuff in the
36
limelight.
years old. That's
36?
she's astonishing.
Are you guys familiar with Henry Mancini at all, other than the Pink Panther theme? Because he's
very extremely.
because we could do like a whole show if we were just going to get rid of our audience about nothing but Henry Mancini.
I could do an entire show.
The theme to
I could do a
Peter
4-hour
Gunn,
show.
most of you have probably never seen Peter Gunn the series. I do recommend it. It's actually was it Craig Stevens? It's a good show.
Stands up today.
It stands up today, but this is the music from that you probably recognize. I mean, Henry Mancini has just been producing hit after hit after hit after hit. His career is so full of just fantastic music for film and theater. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that he does. He's pretty talented guy. So Mr. Lucky and Pink Panther. I'm sorry?
He didn't do. I'm just in the middle of a Columbo watch through. He didn't do that. I don't think so.
Don't know about that. He did a ton of stuff for a bunch of movies like Breakfast at Tiffany's. I mean, it just goes on and on. He has a huge discography. and just a long page. Totally worth looking at, by the way. If you're interested in something, the soundtrack to Peter Gunn is actually very good.
I play in a local community band, and we actually did an arrangement of a medley of Henry Mancini songs, and also like I know that for he a lot of other musicians would do their own renditions of his work because they were just that popular. One that comes to my mind is what's his name? The guy who produced the Thriller album, Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones, when he was doing his jazz career, did
we are so not going to start talking about Quincy Jones right now.
Yeah.
At least with Columbo, he did do the mystery movie theme that was originally written for the NBC mystery movie series, but it also showed up in Columbo a lot, So he did do that. So that might be what you're thinking, is at least has a hand in their functional.
Yeah.
So he at least had some stuff that showed up in Columbo.
Yeah.
And if not, like, he was so influential for his time, and that's why
Oh,
I
yeah.
brought it up, because I'm like,
Well, it's like, well, I mean, Columbo is fucking impressive when you look at it, because Quincy Jones was a composer, Harry Mancini was a composer, Hal Mooney was a composer, and music supervisor, and Mike Post was a composer for episodes. So, like, they had some mother effers on there.
Yeah. I have a whole set of notes
How
about
do you know about
Quincy
Mike
Jones.
Post?
Because I had a grandfather who really liked music.
That's some deep knowledge.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I hate to do this, but I have to keep us moving here. Functional.
yes.
So you made the comment about the young lady who was doing the baking, that she hasn't perfected her craft, obviously, right? At age 19. She hasn't perfected her craft. So I just wanted to say, when you
But her
talk about
stealing is-
somebody who's perfected their craft, it's more like this. Let's kill that sound. So this is Cedric Gourlay, and he has a fine pastry shop. And he's
that?
basically making what looks to me like a baba, and then putting like some really fancy pastry cream on top of it. And you can see the people outside standing around watching him soak it, give it the full baba treatment, and then just yeah. He doesn't just make pastries. This guy makes just absolute
Edible art.
These are-
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even want to eat something like that. You just want to preserve
He's honestly just one of the best. I mean, in terms of he
just-
functions at a very high level.
Oh my god.
That
that's-
is unnecessary, the topic. You don't need that.
You shut your damn mouth. Okay.
Why destroy a classic? He doesn't need any of that crap on top. You soak that shit in rum.
Doesn't it look like a baba
Can
to
I
you? Like a rum baba?
Can I just
Get in
It's
rum.
the side. It's not. It should be more of the tunnel.
Sora, I've seen some of the things you eat. How can you say that?
can I just say yeah,
Because
but
there's
doesn't
certain pastries that would I tried 100%. Would I give him? Will I say why are you inventing the wheel? Also yes.
But Sora,
Can
is it grammable?
Baba rum needs to be like it's you have your semolina cake and you are soaking it in rum. You want real rum, not essence of rum or dilution or something. No, you want the alcohol. You want to blow if they pull you over. To blow
Yeah,
that you've drunk something. That's what you need for that. And maybe if you want a touch of fresh whipped cream, as in you take the cream and you just whip a little bit, not whippy cream in a can. Something you've made
Yeah,
just a little
very
bit.
traditional stuff. But
Not
I mean,
this.
nobody's saying replace it. But I think that when people make things with like just watching him prepare the ingredients, I mentioned like the batter that he was using. Just the look of the batter looks so well put together. Everything like this. He's just elevating it a little bit and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna make art out of food. Please eat it and enjoy it." So I mean, there's room in the world for both. I hate it when people, because I think we can both agree that there are some people out there who do a little too much extravagance for the sake. Like think of something that's very common, like Salt Bae. Like that's just
Yeah, no.
all extravagance with no quality behind it. And just look at how fluffy, even though it's been soaked, that cake there looks.
Yeah,
It
this
just-
is what expertise looks like when
There's-
you've
there's-
developed it.
Yeah, there's expertise behind it. There's quality behind it. It's not just doing it for the sake of doing it. So that's where I'd have to disagree.
You know, though, I'm actually kind of down market sometimes when it comes to this stuff. Honestly, I've had some really fine pastries, and I rarely find ones that I enjoy more than just a good Danish. Like, go to a place that makes like a really
Simple,
good Danish
great
with some fruit, and it's morning. It's like 7 a.m, and I can have like a raspberry Danish or something like that with just the right amount of butter and cinnamon. I'm very happy with that. Or I could spend 4 times as much money for something that's 3 bites. And it just doesn't make me that happy, honestly. I like good, basic, well-executed stuff more than this. But I can appreciate this, and I would eat the hell out of this, even with the whipped cream on top or the frosting. He makes a ton of cool stuff. I mean, I'd be happy to go there. But in terms of...
Cedric Goulet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to look him up.
Well, yeah, he's just an example. There's other people that do really fine work And but I think that the young lady that we saw before is more likely to make something that I would really want to eat over and over again.
More traditional, just
the one in
simple.
Scotland?
Yeah, England.
England,
Or
the smallest town
where
in England.
her daddy quit doing everything and devoted his life
Yeah.
to.
And like I said, her
helping
dad
her.
was the star of that story,
He
honestly.
was. He's a fucking hero.
I would say that there's food that's meant to be appreciated and food that's meant to be enjoyed. This is meant to be appreciated but not enjoyed.
Yep.
Well, considering the fact on TripAdvisor he barely has 2.5 stars, a lot of people agree.
There you go.
Maybe.
So all sound, no substance.
That's what it's looking like.
Well, there's an awful lot of people lined up
bad.
outside that door waiting to get dessert. So I can just judge by
Or
people
do
with
you
their
think
feet.
they're review bombing him so nobody comes
Maybe they
to...
pay. Yeah, maybe
There
they
you go.
pay. He paid those people.
Maybe. I mean, I'm going to definitely look into him. He's 38, so I'm
Yeah.
going to look into him and see. I'll report back next week and see if I can have a more flushed out opinion on the person and his.
Or hell,
He has a
find me another example, and we can show that guy's work too. See, that was
Next week,
sexist of me. How I
though-
assumed it was a guy. Terrible. of
Next
me.
week, functional, sweet or sour.
That's
a
right.
review.
Yeah.
So
I will
and-
say though, just real quick,
Yeah.
I just break a little bit of breaking news. So Trump was at UFC tonight.
Mhm.
The place was insane. Everybody's like going nuts for him. It's great. I'm all for it.
Yeah. You know, they put together an app in 2016 where they looked at donation records, and actually with this app, you could find the locations, the houses of people who donated to Donald Trump. And so that means that, like, in places like California, there's the very real possibility that if I were to give him $500, that I could have people showing up at my door demanding an explanation of why I would do something like that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, so needless to say, for my own protection, I'm not going to be doing that. But the rest of you, go with your conscience.
I
You can
can't.
buy
I live in another country.
You can get a Visa gift card and then use the Visa gift card. Just-
Yeah,
can-
let's not advise people how to commit campaign finance.
You can give me
fraud.
the $500, Harry. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just give money to
Donate.
you guys, and then you'll give it to Trump. You can totally trust you, right?
There you go.
Geodes.
Now you
So
learn.
also in terms of food, some of the food history channels I enjoy quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Now
Now,
this
this is
one
like-
is not a
Oh,
food
I love-
history, not a food history channel,
I love him.
but
He
it's
is
Cowboy
great.
Kent Rollins, and I really like his stuff. So what he does in this, I'm just going to put the link to this one in the chat
Like
for
that
people.
Can't get full on fancy. That's cute.
Yeah, he is talking about President Lincoln and how his comfort food that Mary Todd Lincoln would have them make for him was
Chicken
fricassee.
Yeah.
And he
Was.
would neglect himself and his food. He was doing the opposite of it's a guy who was Prime Minister of England during World War II. Winston Churchill, right?
Yes.
Lincoln would just not eat
That guy.
because he was just so worked up. And if you made food for him, he would just not eat it because he was busy doing things. What his wife would do is have the chefs make it and then invite other people, so he would feel like it was his job to sit down and eat with them.
It was an obligation. It's the-
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
it's the
I've
country
had that
thing.
used against me.
So it's like, here, have some comfort food with people, and you're going to eat now, Abe, because that's just the right thing to do. And
Sit
I
down,
course.
eat, and
Meal
entertain our
taking.
guests.
and I really like this particular channel. I think this is a really good channel. The Cowboy Kent Rollins, he makes good, basic, honest food, and I just enjoy it. So
I like him.
yeah,
like him a
I think
lot.
it's really good, and I eat
like
the crap
that.
out of that.
I like Kent Rollins. He ends every video by thinking,
Holy crap! You just went really muffled.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
You just left the
No.
building.
"What? Can you
Hello?
hear me now?"
Also, that's
Yeah,
a pretty,
yeah.
No, you were just muffled.
Oh.
it's a pretty nice
Yeah.
shirt for being out on the range there, Kent. You're getting a little fancy, aren't you? All right, so that was just
I-
sort of a quick aside.
the
But,
rule-
go ahead.
The rule of working in the farmyard is your hands can be dirty, your gloves can be dirty, your pants can be dirty, your shirt doesn't get dirty. If your shirt's dirty, you're terrible at farm work. That's the rule. It's kind of like chefs and their sleeves. Chefs can have their aprons be dirty, but you can't have messy sleeves.
You do
Same
what
thing.
you can. It's tough sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
So
it happens, but
Well, I mean, with the at least the country thing is that if it gets dirty, it's too easy for stuff to crawl down your shirt. So you try to keep it as clean as possible. This way, things cannot come to you.
Well, Serenity,
Trust
since
me.
you're here and you're not off chasing
Let's
dogs,
talk about the burrows.
let's talk about the burrows. Okay.
Let's talk about the burrows.
So, irresponsible Palo
look at the
Alto gifts $10,000 to Donkey.
Look at the donkey.
Yeah, so supposedly this particular donkey was actually used as a model for the donkey in Shrek at some point.
Yeah. They're
Look
called
at the baby.
they're called Jerusalem donkeys too. So they're the
Oh, because
allegedly
like the Jesus.
yeah, they
the-
were allegedly that the burrow that carried Mary to Jerusalem for tax.
It's the same one. That's an old.
What, the breed. The breed.
Well, they're in a park. They're in a park in Palo Alto,
Yeah,
and
there's a whole
kids
herd of
kids
them.
can play or see the donkeys and stuff, or burros, excuse me, and so they spend like real money, that tens of thousands of dollars a year taking care of them. But somebody got pissed off because this donkey, one of the older ones, needed an extra $10,000 worth of medical care because he's old.
Yeah.
And I asked Serenity about this before the show. I mean, I don't see 10,000 as an issue here. That's just the cost of owning animals, isn't it?
If you're lucky, it's that low.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Especially if they're of the hooved variety. But there's also the fact that like the councilman who had a problem with it got called out on it by another councilman when he was like, "We have $77,000 left over. Shut up and sit down."
Yeah, right there. It says the average yearly cost is about 25 grand. I was about to say, Serenity, yeah, back on the farm in the 90s, that was about the cost roughly each year to maintain one of these types of animals.
It's so okay.
10 G's would have been easy.
little inside baseball. So, most of the animals that we have here that are of the hooved variety, we try to ensure that we don't get them. We basically help them build up the keratin in their hooves so they don't have to be shoed, because that's a lot of fucking money. The horses we have are usually part Mustang or of our older draft horses who just don't give a shit anymore. Mostly because they don't have to have their teeth floated, which is another thing that costs a fucking arm and a leg.
Farriers drive nice cars.
Yes, they freaking do, and I don't want to pay into that. But also, it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to find large animal vets that doesn't require like me to have to drive the damn animal all the way to Louisville or Lexington, because they don't want to go away from where the thoroughbreds are, because the thoroughbreds are where the big money is, and I understand that. So it's one of those things like it's getting more and more expensive to have the big animals unless you have the animals who can stand to be massively self-sufficient. Like, we technically have a barn for them, but they have lean-tos because they're part Mustang. They're fine. They grow.
Yeah.
We let their hair grow out in the winter. They're
They're fuzzy.
Yeah, they're fuzzy. We like keeping them fuzzy.
So you found that there's what we colloquially call, local small town vets are in decline there too, because I know that they have been here for a while.
Well, we thankfully have a couple small animal vets that are pretty good, and supposedly the small animal vet, there's going to be an add-on to the practice of a large animal vet being added, of someone who's younger, who's actually done it for a few years and is going to stick around. Because also, I remember reading somewhere, it's like CPAs, dental hygienists, and veterinarians have like the highest like suicide rate. So that also adds to it, is like, because it's just...
Well, when you have to kill puppies and kittens all day for work,
yeah.
that takes a toll on anybody.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, I understand why. I ain't judging that. But it's one of those things where it's just like, it makes it very difficult. So let's put it this way. $10,000 is cheap.
Yeah.
Someone got a tax write-off.
Yeah, well, basically, they're running like a small zoo in a park for the kids, and it's Palo Alto. They are rolling in money.
Yes,
just
I was
absolutely
gonna say.
rolling in it.
Well-
This is not Dalton Township we're talking about here. This is Palo Alto, home of Stanford University, founding place
Stanford
of HP.
freaking University.
You know, I mean, it's just the revenues from the law firms that are located in Palo Alto, and you know, will pay for this. It's not a problem. They have the money, and the kids
Actually,
can
took
get
my
off.
LSATs there.
Well, the kids can go over and they can hang out with, what is it, Buddy, Mickey, Perry, Niner, and Jenny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let the
Well,
kids let the kids play with the burros. It's fine.
What
What's also-
can I just bring up one quick thing that there was something that came up earlier and it just bothered me.
Okay.
The Messiah's donkey. Okay. Does in modern usage, yes, Jesus rode into Palm Sunday on a donkey, blah blah blah. But the Messiah's donkey is actually a Hebrew idiom. I only know this because I talk with Jewish people a lot. I'm deep into the J Twitter, and you hear about this. The Messiah's donkey refers to it's like somebody who is just a mensch who just does all the dirty work, and you say, you know, yeah, he's my Messiah's donkey. I couldn't do this job without. You know, or he's a Messiah's donkey. You know, he does all the hard work in that department, and this other guy takes all the credit. That's what Messiah's donkey means. That's an idiom in Hebrew. It's quite a popular one, as a matter of fact.
They're also really good at murking coyotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Cannibalistic Wizard pointed out. Mind you,
Oh, they will take a coyote.
Oh, I've seen several of them take out coyotes.
I mean, they
and they're
will
easy.
kill them. They will
I know.
kill their hooves.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah.
We see the corpses out here. We
I've
have a lot of donkeys, a lot of burros out here.
We have one that's not. It's a mule, not a full donkey. She's literally grabbed. I've seen her grab a. It wasn't a coyote this time. It was a feral dog by the back of the neck and just flick her head.
Yep.
Which I'm not going any more graphic than that, but the sound was echoing.
Well, to break their necks. Yeah, I know.
She's a good girl. She's a good guard henny. No, sorry, it's a henny, not a mule. It's a henny.
Okay. Well, we like fuzzy animals, and $10,000 is a cheap date, honestly, for this sort of thing. Now, if we want to waste money, geodes. Geodes, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay.
There we go.
New Mexico experimented with a basic income program that gave $500 a month to immigrant families. They used the money to pay rent and secure jobs.
Yeah.
Is it wrong of me to not really care how they used the money?
No.
I mean, okay, I'm glad you spent that taxpayers' money responsibly. However, I mean,
no more.
I'm not whether or not the money was used responsibly. I mean, yeah, that's nice. I'm glad it wasn't used on drugs and hookers and blow and whatever. But
sure wasn't.
That's kind of misses the main point of it. And how do you feel as a person in that part of the country that this is where your taxpayer dollars are going? When you see those deductions on your paycheck and you realize how little of your money you get to keep, does it make you feel better to know that immigrants took your money and spent it on these things?
Let me put it this way. There are a lot more people out and about. I don't know their backgrounds. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of times they're at the corners asking for money or all that stuff. There's a whole new wave of people now walking along the sides of cars and knocking on windows while we're stopped at lights.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them seem to speak English okay, some of them not so much, and I have no interest in giving them any of my money.
Yeah,
I've become a very stingy bastard because of this. So, yeah.
I just wanted to provide some counterpoint. I just wanted to provide some counterpoint to that donkey thing, okay? Because the one-time $10,000 to do that, if that's what Pella wants to spend their money on, fine. But New Mexico, if you start handing out $500 to every immigrant who shows up who needs it, you're not going to have any money left pretty soon. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if your pilot program was successful by whatever metrics. Immigration's fine as long as people have jobs and stuff like that. As soon as you give benefits to people who just show up, it's more than a slippery slope. It's like Teflon with molly grease, and it's just you're not getting off. You're not getting off.
Giggity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's see. Did I show you guys the animation of what it looks like when you fall into a black hole?
Do it.
Do it.
No, seriously, did I? I mean, I don't want to
Do
repeat
it.
it if you have.
No.
Or did I?
I have
Speaking of.
memory of it.
Do it again.
Okay, speaking of slippery slopes, NASA black hole visualization takes viewers beyond the brink. So really what this is getting into a lot of is what happens as you get close to the black hole. Those rings of trapped photons and stuff.
I know how this ends.
Well, you know how it ends. The question is, what does it look like on the way to the end?
I know what it looks like on the way to the end.
Have you
It's
been
not
into
pretty.
a black hole
Been there
recently?
before.
Yeah.
No, I've read about this. It's
In a past
spaghettification.
life. Well, here we have supercomputers that spend a hell of a lot of time figuring out what this would look like based on our best understanding.
And first you notice things start distorting.
Yeah, you notice a lot of distortion. So this
And then it
this
accelerates
thing not only shows you what it looks like going in, but it explains it kind of in detail. What the whole voyage looks like and why it looks the way it does. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody who's interested in checking this out, because this is kind of an interesting piece.
And then you get spit out into alternate reality.
Essentially, we're orbiting the black
then
hole
you go to the gamma quadrant.
as we get closer and closer to the
Wait, no, there's a wormhole. Now.
the point of no return.
I think this is how you become Superman. Actually, it's
No.
Yeah, you first, Geodes.
No.
yeah.
This is a really cool computer model, though.
It is.
Is this what happens when you phase in and out of the fourth dimension, Harry?
Yeah. So this goes on for quite a while. We can't spend a lot of time on it, but I put the link in the chat. You guys should definitely check it out if you're interested in this kind of space stuff.
It looks like my first wife's attention span.
God, I'm glad you went with attention span, Skep. Let's see.
Gone dark real
That was
fast.
the last minute change.
Yeah.
First
Also-
Lizzo, now Stacey Abrams.
Isn't
the
it
thing
fun
he
when
did
you've
not
got
say,
that
giggity.
that target fixation at the last minute? You just kind of like go nope, and you just
nope.
steer away, Skep.
Yes.
I don't always veer in time.
Safety
That's the
veto.
problem.
Safety veto.
So we should probably have like a palette cleanser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do a palette cleanser. I have so many palette cleansers today.
Is this one going to have more or less acid?
Yeah.
You want one with ass?
I want more ass.
More
I
ass.
want ass. I want ass.
We want some
Ass.
asses.
Never anything wrong with too much ass.
Yeah. We want
Let's
some
see.
asses. We
Okay.
want some asses and been
Okay.
in
Here,
movies.
I
functional.
want some mushrooms.
Some scary moments for customers at a Kansas Home Depot. Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for
know what
those
happened.
comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up.
Yep, there we go.
Man also
The minute she said bathroom, I knew it was going down.
Laugh.
The minute she said bathroom.
Understanding this joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing
Bless her
charges.
heart.
But I can
I
tell you
love
right now,
her.
you asked the producer for me to read
I thought that
from
was
there.
going to go in a very different
Yeah,
direction. Given
he
her
was
Karen
fixing.
haircut.
He was fixing to blow that bathroom up.
Yeah.
Said the
So they
wrong
called
thing,
it as a
bitch.
bomb threat.
Welcome to Wichita.
You asked for more ass in the thing, so there you go.
Imagine you're sitting on the toilet, and then all of a sudden the bomb squad breaks into your stall.
Yeah,
SWAT breaking the door down.
that was fun.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I
Not
just
this-
start
this-
blasting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not the same as saying, you know, I'm going to let fly with a bunch of 3-methylindole indole compounds. Just doesn't have the same punch.
No.
It doesn't roll off the tongue like Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about
Roll off your
Akbar.
tongue.
so this isn't a palate
Part of
cleanser
the
so
joke.
much. This is an
know.
ocean. This is an ocean nightmare for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's big.
Oh
Yep. Yep.
no. Oh no.
Yep. It's Cthulhu's spawn. It's gonna get you. I remember.
Yeah. Just avoid the ocean because there's things like that by the shore. That is just pure nightmare fuel.
It's an illithid, baby.
This is why I'm
Gonna get ya.
hydrophobic.
Yeah.
Pussies.
The ocean's terrible. I'm against it.
Cthulhu.
Oh,
Talking.
yeah.
Do this.
New fear unlocked. Yeah, no kidding. So if you go to the beach and you see something weird sticking up out of the sand, think twice about maybe you're just going to be happier leaving it buried.
Oh, Sora just got back. What do you think about this fish, Sora?
Yeah.
Oh,
Looks
I've
like
seen
an
that. It's so creepy, isn't it? Doesn't it? Don't you feel like it was going to like take you down in the depths with you?
It's a
I
face
like it.
hugger.
Yeah. Hey,
It's a
Sora,
face
you want to
hugger.
see a cute rat?
Yeah.
We always want to see cute rats. Oh no.
Just want to be a little
Oh.
friend.
I
Here,
think he dropped his phone too.
let me.
Look at the people are-
Here, let me
His
just
little
clean your
buddy.
mustache. There we go. Oh, kisses, little mustache kisses from Nigel.
So cute. That looks like a pet.
I
Yeah,
think it's
do-
licking the inside of his mouth.
Do not
Just saying.
search for like man sleeping subway rat
No,
because
no,
there are a
no,
lot
no,
worse videos than
no,
this.
no.
I love the title. Rat takes advantage of sleeping man.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's in his pajamas, so you know he knew what he was in for.
Giga T. That sounds like an opening of an anime.
Can,
Yeah.
can I just say, I've been to New York City a few times in the past few years, and I gotta say, it's a weird place, man. New York City is a weird place.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was weird in the 90s too, but a different kind of weird,
It was
not
weird
this
in the
perverted,
70s.
disgusting weird. It was more.
It's like it's not a real place. It's like it's not a real place. It's like all the people there are living in some sort of weird delusion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the way,
I would
by
have
the
said
way,
put
do you
in
know?
there.
Do you know
Right.
where that particular station is? I'll tell you where
Fulton?
it is. Fulton's right below where the World Trade Center used to be. Because I used to pass. That used to be the station. It was the second to last station before you got to the World Trade Center.
So what
Into
you're
that
saying
station
is
place.
someone finally got their virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evidently. There's that possibility.
Yeah. Sora,
Yeah. Or racing.
so sorry you're still here. Can you? This looks. This next thing looks Russian to me, and maybe you can tell me if this is Russian or not. But it's pretty awesome. Functional. You're going to want to be looking at the screen.
I'm looking-
Because she's educated and she knows about things that happen outside of the United States, and I
She's
don't.
not Russian, you racist fuck.
Yeah, I know she's not Russian. I'm giving her credit for knowing other shit. Oh, this is Romanian. You should know all about it. No, I didn't do that.
You're European.
That's what it sounds like.
So this woman shows up and it says juicy meat tasting, and they've got what looks like some sort of turbocharged salt lick going on there.
There's no sauce on it. There's
It's
no
like
seasoning.
Mongolian barbecue meets salt lick.
There's no seasoning. What the fuck?
It's probably
I'm sure there's some seasoning. I like the bibs.
I like it.
Yes, we get it. You have a big night.
I have to say, I would happily eat at this restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
At
was
least
amazing.
it's got sauce.
Yeah.
It has sauce.
It's got big portions and a sense of humor, and that looks like Russian to me in the background, where it says toilet. But I'm not sure because I don't speak
I mean,
Russian.
it's Cyrillic. Could be.
Could be a lot of things, Harry.
Yeah, it could be in any of the Cyrillic.
I don't know why I'm the bad guy for thinking that Sora might be able to recognize something written in Russian.
I don't know.
That's fine.
It's a
It could be my
romance.
name, and I wouldn't recognize it.
It's
Okay.
Romanian's romance language. It's not.
I grew up after the Iron Curtain fell, so
Yeah.
There you go.
I never had
Harry.
Excuse me
God.
for overestimating your skills.
It's
I was
not
born after-
Russian.
You failed the story. You failed us all. I'm just saying.
Sorry.
That says Toiletsky.
Jeez.
Anyway,
Jesus,
that
Harry.
I like this as
Blows
food porn
my
goes. I
fuck.
think this is pretty decent.
Yeah. Decent. I would love to visit that place.
I would try this place.
But you
And
see what I mean about
I'm-
like it being like
I'm
the
a meat
salt lick
snob.
meets
Yeah.
Mongolian barbecue.
Yeah.
It's like, but
I do like.
Maybe it's Kazakhstan. I'm not even joking. I might
It's
be.
Oh
probably
yeah,
one of-
no, that's a good point. That could be.
It's,
a
it's
stand,
probably
yeah.
one. It's probably one of the stands.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely Cyrillic.
Georgia?
That's not
Georgia?
definitely not Russian for toilet.
It
okay.
could be Georgia, considering what Russia did to them.
It's
yeah.
not Georgian. It's not Ukrainian.
And it probably doesn't cost $1 billion like
I'm
it would
still
here.
really digging the bibs they put on
No, the
everybody.
bib's the best. I
Yeah.
would go there for that.
Oh
I mean,
my God,
I'm
that's-
sure a lot of people take selfies with
Did you
that.
just now see that functional?
No, I saw it, but I thought that it was done as a gag for the thing. But I can see in the background another bib.
No, they're all.
Yeah,
Nah,
They're
that's what your
hilarious.
that's what your
They'll
meat
have-
bib looks like.
Yeah,
booby
gives you
bibs.
the meat gives you titties. That's all it is.
Basically
Gives you
butcher
titties.
paper with boobs on it.
Yep.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, pre-printed. You can get those things.
Oh, how about this clip from Batman, the TV series? It struck me as odd, for no particular reason other than it amuses me.
To the alley.
Yeah,
Sandwich time.
yeah.
You know something, Batman?
What's that, Robin?
She looks very pretty when she's asleep.
I might eventually notice that. That single statement indicates to me the first oncoming thrust of manhood, old chum.
That freeze frame too. Oh.
First oncoming thrust of manhood.
And especially when you think back to Burt Ward's reputation on that show was he was taking no prisoners. He slept with almost.
Oh,
every
okay, that's
woman
what you meant.
Yeah.
You almost any woman you see on there slept with Burt Ward. That has been attested to by too many people, including Burt Ward.
Hopefully not Eartha Kitt, but yeah.
Wow. Well, the thing is, it's like Burt Ward is kind of cute. I can see that. I still, even watching all the old movies I've watched, I still don't know how Andy Rooney got as much booty as he did. Because I'm like, no, baby.
Andy Rooney?
I'm thinking.
Are you talking about Mickey Rooney?
Mickey
Andy
Rooney.
Andy Rooney is like a whole different thing. And that's hilarious.
I wonder why people messed up my name with a guy named Mickey Rooney. I did.
That's right.
One of them Roonies.
One of the Roonies.
There's a parody song called Wardy's Roundup. And now we know why.
Yeah. I'm not seeing Lee Merriweather knocking boots with Burt Ward though. I don't think that happened.
No,
God,
not
I hope
Mary
not.
No, she was a little bit too classy, but
She was a classy dame.
The parade of other starlets that came through there. There were a lot of girls who had one whole word on that show. They had to deliver one word line, and many of those were conquest by Burt Ward, where he promised them. And
Oh, I'm sure he promised.
they were such a hit, especially their second year. They had a lot of power. He and Adam West. Adam West is an interesting guy to hear him talk about the show. He's very intelligent.
So what I heard about this, okay, my understanding when the book came out is that he and Adam West allegedly would go hooking up with women together, and part of their pickup line was they would offer to give them bat sperm.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
It's a little early for this type of news. I mean, really, this is really more the 1 hour, 50-minute in kind of thing we talk about.
Yeah, see that's the ultimate power move because only Batman would be able to say something that stupid and get away with it.
Yeah.
What?
That's fair.
All I'm saying is, what?
Yeah. Okay, let's get this back on track.
That's no fun. Why would you want to get back on?
Let's see. What kind of story do you want, Functional? Give me a type
some
of story.
Science, baby.
Oh, you want some science, huh?
Science,
okay.
space.
I can do that.
Nerdy.
I just have to figure out where it is in this ginormous spreadsheet.
Harry, talk nerdy to him.
No, I have more science. Just give me a moment. I just have to find it.
Because the green computer thing was really cool. Like I'm not very well versed on that stuff, but I like to learn about stuff because I'm so simple in some fields. I don't even know what to ask to learn about the newest goings on. So when it's presented to me, I love it.
Stuff the kids are in.
Okay. Well, there's some bad science. Now, this might break Skep. So there's these articles that are going around about pulsed plasma rockets. Not pulsed plasma thrusters, but pulsed plasma rockets. And I think this is highly sus. Either I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Entirely possible.
Solar freaking roadways.
Or this is solar freaking roadways. So, Skep, look at this. Look at this diagram. We've got an electromagnetic launcher a Brayton power cycle. That is a thing, but I don't know what it has to do with any of this.
So is Fourier series.
Fourier series approximation control drums.
I know all about Fourier series.
And that has nothing to do with this.
I don't know what. Okay, keep going.
And it has an actively cooled translucent photon shield connected to its magnetic nozzle.
Okay.
So what they're claiming,
does my car, it has two of them.
So what they're claiming is that they basically, burp some stuff out into a reactor core, and some combination of fission and fusion take place, and then magic happens out the back of this thing.
This is GoFundMe. That's
So
NASA is funding
Michael
it.
Okuda
NASA
wrote
is
better
giving some money to this.
they're getting swindled too. This is bullshit.
This is Fourier series approximation control drums. That is one of the stupidest group of 5 words I've ever heard in my entire life.
When I saw that, I realized this was.
When I saw that, I'm like, and NASA gave them phase 1 funding to do stuff with this. Okay.
Harry, are we witnessing the birth of the retro encabulator?
That's exactly what I thought of after I stopped laughing about the Fourier transform part.
Not just regular.
Sorry, Fourier series.
Control drums. Not just regular approximation control drums. Not just the regular ones. Fourier series approximation control drums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why not?
Because those are words.
Yes.
French, it sounds better.
And Laplace transforms. Yeah.
I'm looking at this diagram and I'm like, Michael Okuda wrote better diagrams for fictional Star Trek in the tech manuals that they released. Better than this. And this is supposed to be a presentation to NASA to get your shit built?
No, they got the money to do research on this thruster
this is
design.
the type of stuff that they would be presenting them to say, hey, we want to build this, right?
But calling something a multivariate cooled translucent photon shield.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This article reads like such propaganda.
It reads like pure snake oil. Maybe this person is absolutely brilliant and I just am not smart enough to realize, but this looks like complete bullshit to me.
No.
Anyway, so let's see. You want some real science. Unfortunately, we've already sort of done the space thing. But
what about the Boston Dynamics?
Oh, the Boston Dynamics thing. Well, that's technology, which is a little different than science. No, we can do
How
that.
about Starliner Eternal Scratch?
Is that in? That's this one.
Never launch. Yeah.
Boston Dynamics is retiring its most famous robot.
Yeah. Isn't it also named Atlas?
In its farewell video, Boston Dynamics highlighted some of Atlas's most memorable spills.
Look at the poor. He's so cute.
Yeah, but he's going to go off to the robot farm where he can run free and have fresh grease and everything.
He's getting a desk job. He's retiring.
They're going to turn him into an iPhone. But like they're just retiring this specific robot, not like
they
well,
have
in this model, I think, isn't it? They have new models. He's obsolete now.
Yeah. They're going to kill him and eat his liver.
They have those creepy robot dogs now. They don't need Atlas.
Oh no! Wait till you see the Atlas. Oh, look at him doing a dance. Look at him. Look at his dog. Wait, this is the new Atlas.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Like Can has machine gun.
What the fuck?
I'm waiting for it to start pole dancing.
Oh, look, but it's got a ring light, so you can use them for selfies. That was awesome.
Creepy.
That's like something completely out of like a dystopian.
Look how cute he is. Look at little Atlas with his little jig. With
Did
the
that
dog
actually
and then-
offer us? This. You guys have seen. Okay, you guys have seen this, right?
Who should be present to do?
Oh,
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Yeah,
actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office. Actually, so just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
I know you've seen it, but it's so funny.
I have not.
The judge's face. Look at the judge's face.
The audacity of this.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
He sounds like that guy from The Office.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And
it was
he
then
didn't
that
have a
he
license.
knew that he'd fucked up.
Uh-oh.
How dumb is this human being?
Pretty
the charges,
damn.
Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at
yeah.
his
Keep
record.
watching.
He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning
Judge's
himself
brain
into the
is
Washington
broken.
County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Wow.
Oopsie
That's
doopsie poopsie.
That is indeed an
You'll
oopsie.
be spending this evening in jail, sir.
Okay, and now I want you all to appreciate how beautiful this segue is. Okay, crooks plant backdoor in software used by courtrooms around the world.
There you go.
Wait, what?
Okay, there's an application that they use for courtroom record keeping, video conferencing, all this sort of stuff. And on the website of the manufacturer for this software, you can download the viewer so that you can participate in your courtroom hijinks. That viewer that people were downloading was full of malware, which would allow bad actors to take control of any computer running that software.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, Harry, are you suggesting that a government program malfunctioned at some capacity?
Yeah, the software known as JAVS Viewer 8 is a component of the JAVS Suite 8, an application package courtrooms use to record, playback, and manage audio and video from proceedings. Its maker, Louisville, Kentucky-based Justice AV.
Louis Vile.
I knew she was going to do that. I'd have to do that on purpose. Says its products are used in more than 10,000 courtrooms throughout the U.S. and 11 countries. The company has been in business for 35 years. Yeah. So the problem is if you download, for at least for a while there, a version of their fine Windows viewer program to participate, your computer is well and thoroughly hacked. As in, you're screwed.
I blame Cryptic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cryptic's fault.
Just get the hammer.
Yeah, and I love the name of this executable that it installed, FFFmpeg. You know, so because if you're looking for FFmpeg, something that you'd totally expect to be there if you're doing any transcoding of video, you might not notice the extra F. Here, we'll just put this here, and you won't be any the wiser.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Hackers did that. Okay. And of course, while we're talking about hackers, Ticketmaster hacked. Breach affects more than 500 million users. I don't know if you guys got the notice on this.
Oh shit! I just bought some tickets. When did that happen?
Very recently.
Recently. This article was updated on May 29th. It happened, I think, like last month kind of thing, though.
It mysteriously happened around the exact same time that the DOJ said they were investigating them in Live Nation for Monopoly. Imagine how that works. The timing, I tell you, the timing.
Yeah. The hacker group is selling the 1.3 terabyte sized trove of data for a one-time price of $500,000.
That's it?
Yep. That's what they want from Ticket Bastard.
Oh. Don't care.
Yeah.
It does feel because of the low price. I wonder if it is an inside job.
What did they get? Did they get transaction data, or did they just get name and address type stuff?
I don't think it said.
I don't know. It said what Ticketmaster data was stolen. According to Shiny Hunters, this is an immense trove of sensitive user data. The group allegedly has Ticket Bastard customer full names, addresses, phone numbers, email, and order history, including ticket purchase details and event stuff.
That's
a whole lot of.
That's old school designed database. Sounds like to me.
Well, at least they only got the last 4 digits of the credit card numbers and the expiration dates, but this is enough information that if you correlate it with other data sources, it's not good.
Yeah, no,
it's not useless, but on its own, that would explain why it's just such a
Well, here's the thing with the data that they harvested from this, they can go out and get corroborating data and start filling in the blanks. You go to other data sources and run merge purge. That's what we used to call it when we run tapes against each other and find out who the dupes were and dedupe it and find any matches that are in there, and you get an improving database. Where more and more people have names and addresses and social security numbers, and as you go through different databases, you just pick up more and more data that you can correlate back in, and that's the kind of beginning that somebody could go out and damage a lot of people. That'll be a lot of good data in that.
It just seems weird that they didn't have like a buyer already set up, or like it's like that kind of thing. I just want to move that fast. I wouldn't want to keep that shit. Like, why are you charging so low for it, motherfucker? Like, what the hell?
Well, maybe because they just want it to be easiest for them to just pay them off and go away versus having Spetsnaz come crashing in their skylight.
I think Spetsnaz need to come crashing in their skylight, personally.
Yeah, well, it's when people really started screwing around, started really effing around and found out with some of the stuff that happened, remember, with the oil pipelines and stuff. Yeah, they met a bad end. And they just want it to be easier just to give them a lovely parting gift and move on. Yeah. So, Skep, I can't get into this too much, but I can tell you that the amount of money that these guys are moving means they should have PCI Level 1 certification. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the only reason why there's only 4 digits of that credit card number. I was an auditor on a PCI Level 1 certification one time for a company that has since been sold and it has become something even bigger, a name which you would definitely recognize. And in the audit of that, I was told up and down that there was no chance of any credit card data being in that database.
No possibility.
I not only found stuff in their database because I went in and looked at a dump of it raw and went searching for things using regular expressions that looked like credit card numbers. I found credit card numbers in their freaking log files.
You're joking.
I am not kidding.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy!
I made some friends that day with a group of developers in a country I can't name. I wasn't expecting to find anything. I was just doing the perfunctory, well, I'm just going to try some stuff and make sure, because if I'm going to put my name on this, I want to make sure it's like really good. And I was like, oh my God, look at what I've just stumbled into. Years worth of this crap. And the developers had told the people who run this company that there was none of that in there. Oh, it was all in there. But so the fact that it was only the last 4 digits of the credit card thing, at least they didn't lie on their PCI Level 1, because there's no way you could keep the full credit card numbers in that database.
No, it's against the rule.
Oh, it is strictly verboten. But enough about me and my stupid past. Let's see. So we remember Super Mayor Timothy Henyard?
Oh, God.
So she's not alone. There are other things that seem to go on in small towns in the middle of the country. So let me introduce you to another similar sort of story.
I told you, there is a village in Ohio where the mayor has no access to the city building. The fiscal officer is only required to work 98 days a year and makes almost 75 grand in a town of fewer than 400 residents. And the only people who have access to any financial documents are that fiscal officer and her dad, who is her boss. It's happening in Little College Corner. So I went there to find out what's really going on.
Yeah. So apparently, for quite a few years, the only people who have had access to this stuff are the aforementioned man who's a volunteer and his daughter. She works 98 days a year. She makes $75,000. And she has effectively no oversight. Now, the previous mayor got voted out and replaced with, let's see if I can find her, this woman.
Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like they're the only two that have the power to everything. So they're the only two that have access to the bank accounts. They're the only two that can speak to the contractors. They're the only ones that can talk to the attorney. What is the need for just the two of them to have all the power?
That power.
Yeah. So basically, after the last election, as people were on their way out the door, they essentially, the city council and the outgoing mayor, just sort of set things up to make sure that this new mayor and the new members of the city council would not be able to undo this. So they effectively blocked this new mayor from any of this access. She didn't even have a key to the building for the little township where like the government stuff took place. She couldn't even walk in the front door. Now, she's since talked to a prosecutor for the state who's pressured them into giving her a key, but that key gets her into the front lobby area. It doesn't actually get her into the locked room where all the financial data is. I'm kind of at a loss for words. How in the hell does shit like this happen? Is this more common than I think the Tiffany Henyard stuff and stuff like this? Do we not know the size of this problem? Because if it was just the one mayor, that'd be one thing. But now we've got two of them, and I just wonder how many cockroaches we're dealing with.
The interesting thing is that College Corner is a border town. It is halfway inside Ohio and halfway inside Indiana. It is a kind of a satellite little community of I guess that's Oxford. Ohio is the nearest thing. It's kind of centrally located between Oxford and nowhere.
Yeah, she's got her Michael Kors thing, so good for her.
Yeah. Out in the middle of nowhere, there. Anyway, this is the most rural part of, or one of the most rural parts of Ohio. The Kentucky part, the Indiana part.
Well, that's pretty good money for rural Ohio for working 1/3 time.
Oh, yeah,
75,000 living there, working 1/3 time. That seems like a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah, that's nice work. You got it.
I mean, imagine if this was in your backyard, Serenity. If this was somebody in West Virginia pulling this kind of crap.
What value add is she providing for in 98 days to produce $75,000, where the town has a positive opportunity cost of choosing the next most rewarding thing?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the 30 days of
$75,000.
vacation and the 120 days of sick leave.
Oh Jesus.
More sick leave than they actually have to spend working.
Yeah. But her dads are supervisors, so it's totally fine. It's totes fine.
Yeah, it's totes fine.
They flew too close to the sun, man.
Yeah.
I checked it over with my dad. He's all good with it.
Somebody asked me, what does look in their log files mean? It means that the applications like web servers and things that run create log files that talk about what they've done and what kind of interactions and transactions have taken place. And in some of these systems, they will actually log information about each contract in a text file. Like you could open it with Microsoft Word and just look in it. You know, or Edlin or whatever, you know, it's just a text file. It's not encrypted. It's not binary. It's not anything. So it's even worse than the database, because if the permissions on that file allow it, anybody with access to the system can read the contents of it. That is actually common.
Probably open it with Emacs.
Yeah. If you look in, yes, you could. If you look in like, you know, varlog thing is more than likely going to be readable by anybody who has access to the system, you know. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm using the very big paintbrush. But yeah, so this Ohio thing, I was really surprised. So this is another one. I'm kind of going to be interested in seeing where this goes. Because what a sweet gig these people have, and what a loving father he is to take care of his daughter like this. You know, dad of the year. Pretty awesome. Okay. Government corruption. How about some ocean news?
Ocean.
Oh no.
Okay. Elusive octopus squid with world's largest biological lights attacks camera in striking new video. So this terrible monster lives in the very, very deep waters, and it has these bioluminescent nodules on its body that it uses to sort of see things in the very, very deep ocean and also sort of surprise its prey. So it's like, imagine you're in the dark at the bottom of deep water and suddenly there's like two headlights coming straight towards you.
Yeah, it's an asshole squid.
It's a complete asshole squid, and they've hardly seen any of these things. So they put like a little bit of bait on the camera, and they were able to see this asshole octopus squid come over and attack the camera. This is like only the second time they've ever photographed that since 2003.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
Look how
but
pretty it is.
yeah,
But also fish suck.
But
I
also
don't
fish
know.
suck.
No.
I mean,
calamari is good.
Yeah.
Look at how pretty it is. It's just giving a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uses their large photophores to stun and disorient prey during an attack. Now, in terms
Probably
of these
clubs
little light emitting organs, these are actually the largest that are on any species that have been observed. There's a lot of things that kind of dimly glow, like pilot fish and other things. These guys have two big old headlights right on the front of their arms, and they're like, "Here we come!"
It's like the Don Lemon of the
yeah
aquatic world.
So this is a hard to describe headline. So I'm just going to show you the thing, and you can see it. Worm-like creature squirts milk from its butt to feed its young in first of a kind video.
Oh, another trainee video.
Video footage captures an egg-laying amphibian nursing its babies with a nutritious liquid similar to mammalian milk.
Oh God!
And now I'm thinking Klaus Schwab. This could be the new boutique thing, right? You know, I'd like some Siphonis and Ulatus milk in my coffee. Go to Starbucks and get this. Klaus Schwab would love this because imagine you get bug milk. We could just make everything fantastic.
Pretty sure this is how you get flatworms in your stomach.
I'm pretty sure this is how you die alone
This is how you get the alien creature
and
popping out of your
unloved.
chest.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello,
Worm-like
my-
creature squirts milk from its butt to feed its young in first of a kind video. Yeah. No, thank you.
Who's
Oh,
hungry
look at
for
the
butt milk?
babies! Mazel tov!
Yeah, mazel tov.
Who wants
It's
butt
a
milk?
thing.
I do.
Yeah, worm butt milk was not something I had on my bingo card for this month. Okay.
Ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at them! They have little eyes. Oh, that's cute.
So they went back and looked at an article that was written about ChatGPT-4, claiming that it actually beat 90% of trainee lawyers on the bar exam. Well, it turns out that that's not really true. What they did was they compared it to people who had taken the bar exam multiple times and kind of discounted the people who took it and then just moved on and became lawyers. And that skewed the results. It's as if they wanted to prove something. But yeah, ChatGPT-4 did not ace the bar exam at all. It didn't even break the 70th percentile, which isn't to say that it won't someday, mind you.
This is the kind of learning, though, that GPT does well. in my opinion. This is law learning is almost none of it is hard, but it is voluminous. And there are different rules for everything, and you have to understand that laws get drawn up at different times, and different things are invoked, so things are done differently, so that every law kind of has its own particular recipe. There's not a lot of systematization in the way that laws are constructed, and that makes it hard to study. It's very particular. A lot of peculiar, one of a kind type cases. Almost every law is one of a kind. You have to one of my big knocks on law is that a systems engineer needs to go into law with a bunch of lawyers and fix the law, basically fix a lot of criminal law and a little bit of civil law, and make it make sense. There are things there is institutionalized obvious unfairness that nobody does anything about because the process will not allow for that to be improved. And there are peculiarities all like that all through our legal systems that badly need improving. I don't know why I'm getting on the soapbox about this. Anyway, the law is an ass, as Dickens said.
Yeah, it is. Well, there's no smooth segue to this, but remember we were talking about music, I think it was last week, wasn't it? When we did the Bach episode.
Yeah.
So there was a poll that came out a while ago, 2011, where Rolling Stone decided to come up with the 10 worst songs of the 80s. And I want to take issue with this list, and I think some of you might want to as well. So,
oh dear,
the Rickroll, Never Gonna Give You Up. Is that really the 10th worst song of the 80s?
No, that was not the 10th worst song.
Well, according to the idiots who,
that.
yeah, it's like that's not a bad song. I mean, it's pop. It's not supposed to be. It's not art. It's fine.
I actually like that song, but mostly because it's a meme. If it wasn't a meme, I probably wouldn't like it as much as I do.
Okay, and I don't know why this is suddenly broken.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah,
What the hell?
putting on the Ritz.
That. That's one of my guilty pleasures.
Also, still not the 9th worst song. I don't.
Fun fact with the new saying Riz that young people are using. I thought it was Ritz. I kept saying Ritz instead of Riz when I was trying to explain.
No, dude, it means charisma, man.
You millennial boomered yourself.
Okay, so this is the 1980s, right?
Yeah, this is the worst movie of the 1980s, and so they next go with Tony Basil, Mickey, which is a objectively annoying song.
Yes, that was a
But it's a good song. But it's like when you consider the fact that she was just like a choreographer and she did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like how freaking
still
like
that
she.
song.
I love that song.
Can I just say number one better be Starships We Built This City. That's all I'm saying.
You shut your horse mouth.
Somebody's looking ahead.
With that song.
Okay, Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy. It's a stupid song, but it's not terrible. It's not
Bobby
terrible.
McFerrin is
I
an
don't like
amazing
it.
guy.
Yeah, Sora doesn't
Amazing
like
guy.
being told what to do. It's like, I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Just go F
I
yourself,
do like
man.
the music video for
The music video is good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Bobby McFerrin, with his voice and with his whistling ability and the sounds he can make, he's amazing.
This list is hot
Rock the
garbage.
Amadeus
This
is a
list
fucking
is
amazing
such hot
song.
garbage. This is
Yeah,
the
like,
worst list ever.
Rock Me Amadeus is like one of the first like meme songs almost.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, Falco's not like a band that was super successful. I don't think they did a lot other than this one
A lot of
hit.
these people are one-hit wonders. Like Tony Basil never went on to do anything
Okay,
else. Yeah.
Safety Dance,
Well,
objectively stupid, but it's catchy and people would sing it and it's fine.
I love Men Without Hats.
It's
and
like
the girl in that music video went on to become the editor-in-chief of Cosmopolitan.
Nice.
Shit you not.
Okay, Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go
That is
Go.
such a catchy song.
It is.
It's
so
totally
much
gay,
fun.
but it's a good song.
It's totally. The thing
It's
is,
like, why are you gay?
hilarious.
GHEY, YouTube.
It's hilarious looking back at it. You're
George
just sitting there
Michael,
going,
that's why.
it's
Yeah,
like
George
a lot of
Michael is
actors.
gay.
It's like a lot of actors where you're just sitting there going, who thought you were straight?
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. What's number 3?
Yeah, keep
Number
going.
3, Lady in Red by Chris de Burgh. That's a fine song.
Yourself.
That's a little bit boring song, but it's okay.
Can we all agree that Rolling Stone has jumped the shark and they need to shut down?
Yeah,
And
you're no longer fit for purpose. Go home, Rolling Stone. You're drunk. Okay,
Time
the
to put
final
the old bro
countdown by Europe. It's a rock anthem. It's a rock anthem. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody expects that much from We Are the Champions or any of this other stuff, the final countdown. It's just a rock anthem.
It's a good song.
It's fine.
Would it be like hair metal or like glam
Glam
rock?
rock.
Or whatever they call
It'd
it?
be glam rock. It would be
That's
glam
rock.
rock.
I would call Europe a hair band though, because of their later stuff.
But that still falls in glam rock.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
kind of
very
like a subgenre of glam rock. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. White
Okay.
Poison.
And of course, We Built This City by Starship.
We Built the City is a good
Thank
song.
you.
What?
So, Jack, explain to me, where did this song touch you?
Yeah.
It touched me. It touched me in the bad vibes, Harry.
Okay.
Good song.
I mean,
It is a good song.
hating Jefferson, Starship, Airplane, whatever. It's like, okay, not really sure. Okay, what's so bad about it, Jack? Can you tell?
It's so.
Help me understand.
It's so.
Come on.
Let's not all beat up on Jack
Aggressively-
because he's wrong. It's okay.
No, it's so aggressively. What's the word? Glam rock. It's so aggressively cliche glam rock. To me it represents like
That's what
the
glam rock
the
is.
homogeny of pop rock in the 1980s.
That was the point.
So do you also hate like Dream Theater and You tell me you hate Knights in White Satin next? Where does it
Knights
end?
in White Satin was good. That had very good instrumentals.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. If you're gonna go after
Wait, did someone just say Knights in White Satin was not a good song?
Yeah, Jack did say that.
I like that song.
Does someone want to take? Oh,
I'm just picking on Jack. I'm being a contrarian.
This is I couldn't
All
believe that
right.
Knights in White Satin would be divisive of all the things in the world.
It's
I mean,
not.
it's
No
not.
kidding.
Yeah, all that stuff from like Purple and other stuff. Oh, by the way, one of the other songs that I would play on the jukebox if people were playing crap is there was this song, I can't remember, it was by Transatlantic, and it was a good 24 minutes long. Fantastic. Great value. Great
Most
value
of their
for
songs,
$1.
isn't it?
Yeah. That whole period of classic rock, I never really knew much about it because, like I said, I watched Cosmos, I heard Bach for the first time, and I put all that shit away. And it was only later in life when I got friends, you know, when I'd leave the house and go play pool and have to function like a normal human being, you know, go out and drink, you know, Miller beer on tap and that kind of stuff. Being a normal, decent guy. Go do that, and I'd get friends, and they were all into like classic rock. So I got my classic rock education like in my 40s and 50s because I didn't really listen to this stuff earlier. And then it was like, oh yeah, I'm actually kind of appreciating this stuff. And I didn't, God, but except for King Crimson and Talking Heads, I actually learned about that stuff in the 80s. But a lot of the other sort of traditional rock, classic rock, I didn't really know much about it. Prog rock, yes, but classic rock, no. But enough about me. Starship, I don't think this is a great song, but to say that it's the worst song of the 1980s seems like a stretch.
Yeah. No,
It's like, when was
hold on now.
Heartbeat by Annie DeFranco and the DeFranco family? Because that's like an objectively terrible song that makes me want to punch people in the dick.
I mean, to me, this is just a clickbait article right from the get-go. Just saying, this is rage bait.
It is.
And they're successful.
That's the reason why it's a good thing we're all reading this at once with only going through Harry. This way they're getting one click, and that's it.
I think we're all knee deep in the hoopla, which was the name of the album this song was on, and the album title is taken from the lyric in the second verse.
The only way they could have possibly have made this worse if they tried listing "He's the Greatest Dancer" by Sister Sledge or something. You know, it would have been like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
All I know is if it's not Johnny Cash, it's crap.
Well, let's talk about 1987 for a bit. So I stumbled across this. It's been out for a long time. I know it's not new, but I somehow stumbled across a compilation of dating video sites, like video dating site intro things that have been sort of spliced together.
Yes.
Yes. So let me introduce the women's edition, because the men's edition is pretty famous, but the women's edition is also something special. And the people who put this together, they have a website and they do film festivals and DVDs. So just consider this like their sample reel. I'm not taking over their business and stealing all their IP or anything crazy like that. So please don't copy strike me. Go give these people money. This is the Found Footage Festival put this together.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I live in the West San Fernando Valley. Pardon me. Hi.
Things are going well.
I'm Janet. I'm looking for
a cake.
Pulse.
I'm not sure. Hello.
Okay, so why is she holding that giant piece of cake? She shows up for her video interview thing for the dating site with a giant piece of chocolate cake.
I'm
interested.
You know what?
In the cake.
Would swipe right.
Yeah.
I would swipe right to use the modern parlance.
Well, which one is that? The
Because I
good
wanna
one or
know
the
that.
bad one? Which one is keep and
good one.
so swipe right is good.
left
Okay.
Is bad. Yeah. Just because I'd be like, yeah, I want to know why bring cake.
Yeah, I've seen worse, and there are worse. Just bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Hello. My name is Ellen. Some people
Oh my
call me
God.
sexy. Others say I'm sensuous.
Okay.
She has bodies in her basement.
How are the eyes looking, Geodes?
we are going.
Look into
we're
her soul and tell us what you
Yeah,
find.
this is the void is staring at me, and I'm looking away.
Some people call me sexy. Some people call
Don't
me
make eye
sexual.
contact.
Some people call the cops.
You could go to 3 or 4 stores.
Some people
Just
enjoy
one.
cannibalism.
I would be lying if I didn't say that I have had a few women very much like her be interested in me in the past.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Hi, Harry.
You know, when I'm not using my doctor and pharmacy to troubleshoot a large healthcare computer system, I'm over at the gym pumping iron.
What do you think, Skep? She pumps iron and she troubleshoots large healthcare computer systems.
I want a fucking restraining order. That's what I want.
Or driving my black Porsche with the wind
No,
blowing
you
through
stay
my
the fuck
hair
away from me,
and
you
singing along with
psychopath.
Anita Baker's Rapture of Love.
So she's got a black Porsche. She likes
what
Anita
is
Baker.
this?
Oh,
What
this
is
is going to be special. You're going to like this.
I guess you could say I'm an Oreo cookie freak. I have an
I
Oreo
guess
cookie
so.
jar, Oreo salt and pepper shakers. Like to collect anything with an Oreo on it. And I love to eat double stuffed ones. They're the best.
Yeah, she likes double stuff.
Check out these eyes, Geodes. Check out these eyes.
I laugh hysterically at Bette Midler.
I
That
throw
explains
acid.
the
I have
eyes.
2 cats.
I throw acid on
And
children.
I don't know how to ride a
no,
horse.
cat lady.
And my goal in life is to have my own religion. I was a
Let's not skip over her.
Oh my God.
L. Ron Hubbard, the early years.
God is dead, and I have killed him.
I was a flop at canoeing. I'm looking for a romanticist. Spend time at the fire.
Now she's got like that whole Stacey Abrams gap in her teeth thing going on, which is strange.
Seems like a no nonsense.
Someone that's clean. Be clean, you know? I keep my car very clean.
I
and
like her. She's like,
expect a man to do the same. And I also
people.
I keep my car clean. I expect my man to do the same. Yeah, she's not controlling, not even slightly.
No.
She seems just easy going. That's just, you know,
There's slack right there.
you want a woman who's not going to cause you any trouble. This is the one.
This is the one.
I feel like this is the secret beginning to Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
You call these breadsticks? Why am I eating here? Yeah, thanks.
And I also like very meaty men. One who is charming,
Yeah, you do.
Oh, hello.
doesn't smoke in my face. I am
Oh, there she is
looking
again.
for a passionate yet permanent romance within
Watch.
the guidelines.
Do you see what she's got on her hands?
No. Oh, no.
Okay, I can't interrupt this. It's too good. Let me get back to her.
For
Okay.
a passionate yet permanent romance within the guidelines of safe dating practices.
She's got her gloves ready. It's gonna be a great date.
What's missing is the accent, and she's the housekeeper from Family Guy.
It's like if you think in Dexter's lab, if you think Dexter's mom is hot, this is the chick for you right here.
No, man. Mrs. Dexter.
I think I broke Jack. Jack knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he does.
Dexter's mom's always wearing those gloves.
Well, yeah, but Dexter's mom has the badonkadonk.
Dexter's mom has got it
hey,
going on, but
Hey, Harry,
yeah.
if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
That's
I'm just
right.
Saying, you know, yeah.
yeah, I think she's planning on using those gloves on the third date. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think I know where Mad TV got lowered expectations from. Now.
Yeah.
Practices.
That's
Well,
what
I
made
gotta
Mad
go
TV
now,
so
but keep
great
in
is that
touch,
it wasn't
okay?
that far
Bye.
off from reality.
That's it.
Yeah, I love this. This is so great.
I honestly, genuinely hope they all are happy wherever they are.
Yeah.
Because this is fantastic.
So, yeah, and here's so this was Video Mate. So here's Carrie from Datamax.
Date of Max. It's not. What if I don't like Max?
Did you get it?
Is it you? Is it me? Is it us? Is it we? It's Datamax. Datamax.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm a receptionist.
Oh, this is Mad
and I'm
TV.
looking for a serious man.
I don't think it is. You think it is? I don't think so.
She looks like one
My
of
ideal
the
mate
actresses.
will be a man who's very serious and has a lot of money to show for it, and will be a
She's
provider
honest.
for me and my sister.
Can you
My best qualities would have to be I love
Yeah, no, she wants somebody with a lot of money who will take care of her and her sister. And she's wearing, that's not a gunny sax. What the hell is that, Sora? What am I looking at? Some kind of weird peasant
It's a
blouse.
prairie.
Oh, yeah.
Home on the prairie type of dress.
And she's talking about getting her sister sort of peripherally involved in the relationship. I'm feeling like this is like one of those 2-for-1 deals. I'm getting a weird sister wife vibe off of here.
It was a series.
I just didn't.
Mr.
I
Flanagan.
didn't know that the Amish were allowed to use camcorders.
I could dance all day, dance all night.
Very well.
Don't do that
My
ever.
celebrity crush is
Yeah,
Lou
oh,
Diamond
stop.
Phillips.
That was very disturbing.
I don't want a man with cancer or heart disease or
cancer.
disabilities or
This is good, but it's fake.
speech
I don't think it is. I don't
No,
think it.
It is. She's Krista Flanagan. She's an actress.
You think this is fake?
I know it is because
Oh.
I'm looking at the IMDb page for this.
God damn it. Next thing you're going to tell me that Jesus is my N-word is fake. You're going to tell me that too.
Oh,
I don't know about that one.
You don't know about that one?
Oh no.
No, you don't want.
The congregation keeps getting bigger because Jesus Christ is my
Jesus
N-word.
is my friend.
Yeah. I can't play that. We can watch it after the show.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a put on, but the other one is not. Make me look bad. Stupid Carrie.
I knew this. She's like, that has to be an actress. I know for sure that's an actress. It is.
It did look very familiar. It
Yeah.
was a
She
little too
played
good
in
to be
all
true.
of those really shitty spoof movies from the 2000s.
Well, considering all of the thoughts that we've seen
And
lately,
83 episodes of Mad TV.
I don't know. You've watched 83 episodes of Mad TV?
She was in 83 episodes of Mad TV.
Well, they did a good job because it fooled me. We can edit all this out in post, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll fix it.
We'll fix it in post.
Fix it.
Cash, is there anything else
She's my favorite.
we need to talk
I
about
too want
tonight?
to start my own religion now.
Okay, Sora, tell me if this is a fake. This is my new least favorite thing. I found something that puts me into a rage. I hate this. I hate this so much, and I'm not really quite sure why. Let's kill that. It's this woman who goes by the name Doll Girl, and it's all these videos where she just gets dressed up like this, and it makes me hate everything.
And it uses that weird distortion filter.
Yeah. Like, this is creepy as hell, Sora. What do you think?
Yeah, she's moving differently than the background and stuff. It's
I hate
it's
this.
filters and other stuff.
Yeah, I hate all of this.
I think she's supposed. Is
Yeah,
she trying
it's
to be a
China.
double, like ball jointed?
Yeah.
It's China. It's one of the things they do to try to get people to spend money on the app, especially like Weibo and Douyin.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love the costumes.
I'm a fan of popping and locking, but like the distortion filter just makes it. I don't know. I get nauseous when I look at that stuff.
Yeah.
Completely fair.
Well, sort of as a bit of a. See, I guess we need a palate cleanser now.
Hurry.
Yeah. Sorry. Give me a moment.
But I understand.
Yeah. So it's not just me that hates this.
And you can see the way her nose completely disappears, the amount of filters on
I was
it.
gonna say the
yeah.
eyes are what I noticed because that's usually the first thing they edit is like making the eyes slightly bigger or something.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Critical Drinker earlier, right? And we talked about the whole filmmaking thing. I found a clip from an interview with Gene Wilder, which I thought was interesting. And this concerns his portrayal of Willy Wonka and what he required before he would actually take the part. I thought it was interesting.
Oh yeah, I know this one.
I asked them why do you want me? And they said, because we saw Start the Revolution without me. And there was something craziness there that made us think about you as Willy Wonka. That's how it came about. I wouldn't put it in the category of Young Frankenstein.
Nor would I.
But
different movies.
I did enjoy doing that film a great deal. I don't know if you know this, but I wouldn't have done the film if they didn't let me come out walking as a cripple, having my cane stuck into a cobblestone, and then doing a forward somersault, and then bouncing up, and they all applauded. And the director said, well, what do you want to do that for? And I said, because from that point on, no one will know whether I'm telling the truth or lying.
Which changed the tenor of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
And when he told them that he insisted on that, he was absolutely serious. He said, yeah, I will not do the movie unless you'll let me do this. And if you think about the way the movie progresses,
he was right.
He was absolutely right, because in a lot of ways, Wonka sort of seems simultaneously like the patron saint of children and also this weirdly sinister, private, secret man. And you never really knew what his motivations were. Mm-hmm. And it's all because of that one scene at the not at the beginning, but about a third of the way through the movie. Also, what the hell was going on with Grandpa Jack and all these people? They're all like lying around in bed, and suddenly he's jumping up and moving around and dancing. And that's not how legs work.
It's
Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe. I don't know who Grandpa Jack is.
Little nonsense now and then.
He's in the White House, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Grandpa Joe, famous con artist, Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe should have at least had, that thing where his legs are asleep or something. He would have had to kind of, you don't just get all a golden ticket excited and jump out of bed and start dancing around like an idiot.
He does almost fall over.
He has his grandson working basically against child labor laws, just so that he could get some food every once in a while, because apparently he's not good enough to stand up until there's the promise of free chocolate.
Yeah, have some cabbage soup, Grandpa Joe, swindler.
Makes his granddaughter or his daughter and grandson work so that he can lay around and chew tobacco.
Yep. I mean, his mom, Charlie's mom, was actually doing stuff and moving around, but weren't like all of the parents, in-laws, grandparents all just laying around in this bed together?
Yeah, and where's the husband?
Yeah, the two different. He didn't exist in the movie. In the old movie.
I don't even think he existed in the book either, if I remember right. But if I remember correctly, the reason why they're there is because they are all old enough to collect not their full pensions but partial. Because I think there was a talk about Grandpa Joe being in World War I or II, if I remember right. And it's the only way the government would continue to give them money is if they proved they were incapable of getting up. So that's the reason why the bed's in the middle of the living rooms. This way, when they came to get checked on, it's like, see, they're all in. They can't. We have to put them all in the same bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the, if I remember right, is the reason why. Because there was a people would report your ass basically if they thought you were lying. Now, mind you, whether Grandpa Joe got reported or not after he what the fuck at that house, I don't know. But I think if I remember correctly, that's the reason why. Could just be bullshit, but I want to say that's what it was.
Yeah. So speaking of 4 people in a bed, I almost forgot to mention this.
Giggity.
Polyamorous families are recognized and protected in Oakland, California.
Yeah, because that's what you're worrying about. Of course.
It's good that they're focused on the right things, isn't it?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe,
really,
Nick Rekieta can move there? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, no, Nick Rekieta, building strong family values. One broken relationship at a time. Yeah, it's great.
Well, with more adults in the house, there's more hands to put Eggo waffles and toasters.
You should start a club with Destiny.
Be good for the kids.
Yeah, there you go.
Side note: the cuckold husband of the other lady, like he's a he's a big old piece of shit too.
Yeah, he's He's
They're
trying to do
all winners.
Oh, I know. Well, I know, but the thing is, he's trying to do the crying song and dance of, oh, these children were coming to the door and knocking. It's like, then why didn't you report it, you piece of shit? Oh, that's right. Why? We know why.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey, if people wanna hook up and stuff in groups, that is fine. Not my problem. But the whole idea that like polyamorous families are a priority for the city of Oakland,
it's probably
no,
so they can tax them.
no, no.
I can see the taxes.
Taxes.
Oakland,
Hey, is it-
you're
is it-
terrible.
Yeah, couldn't we have like a world where the charity money is going to people who actually need it?
How did we
Yeah.
get charity money when I said taxes?
Oh,
whatever.
Live in a society.
So there's a couple other things that I wanted to mention. We can just do them really quickly. You're not dying on me, are you, Skep?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean,
so well, I mean, other than all of us circling a drain.
There is the whole heat death of the universe. and
Record-breaking 127-degree heat wave hits India amid water crisis. So they didn't get their water delivery. Here's people, and they're doing something which I had never seen before. They're not handing them containers; they're handing them hoses. That's actually pretty smart.
Yes, and the yep.
So 127 degrees. It is the suck. So they don't have enough water. It's hotter than hell. This is probably one of the least hyperbolic things I found because all the others just start going on about climate change.
Yeah.
This is just human suffering, and maybe now's not the time to try to promote your agenda.
Yeah, and now's not the time. Like, help the actual people who are down. Shut
So
the fuck up.
absolutely shitty air quality, terrible heat. People are passing out in classrooms. It's just generally not good. In addition to that, there was a plane, well, two planes actually, that got horribly delayed. One of them was delayed for 30 hours. It was an Air India plane that had a problem. And then they, after sitting out in this plane for many hours, they moved to another plane, but the air conditioning was broken on that plane. It was a 30-hour delay before this flight from India was able to get going to San Francisco.
And this is the reason why I say this, and I'm going to say this real fast, that I keep saying India is speed running China's own fuck ups.
Yeah.
Because, like, holy crackers, man. Like, you all were poised to be, like, the next big, like, you could have taken the place of China. Between the border stuff that they're having constant fights with China and they're using sticks because they can't use guns. This about the gang R word that happened to the poor lady who her and her husband backpacked through Afghanistan and Pakistan and didn't get touched. But the minute they step in India, that crap happens. This stuff, the fact that they have politicians, not even translated, but actually saying it in English, saying that children, girls need to get married to protect them from men. China, what? Not China, India, what the hell?
Yeah. Well,
it's like you're speed running a failure. I don't know what's going on.
So I have one piece of space news, and then we'll go. So functional, I feel like you need one more science thing. Unfortunately, you're not going to like this story. You're not going to like this story. Vulcan vanishes. Real life Star Trek planet turns out to be stellar illusion. So what they thought
Pluto's real.
What they thought was the exoplanet that they named Vulcan turns out, yeah, there's actually not a planet there. It was just some weird perturbations of the star itself that led them to think that there was a planet.
What was it? Reflections of particles off Mercury.
You saying it was swamp gas? Is that what you're saying, Sora?
Yes.
We all know why it was the Romulans.
Yeah,
Maybe it's some new bullshit Kelvin timeline.
Look, the Vulcans popped up in front of our government, and they said there is no Vulcan embossing, and then they went away. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
But Pluto's still real. Haha.
Pluto's a planet.
Well, Pluto's real. It's just not a planet.
It is a
Pluto's
planet.
a planet.
Pluto's a planet.
What? I know it was in the news. I sent you guys the link to the Pluto thing. Let me see. Where is
Pluto's still a planet.
So is Ceres
Why
a
you
planet?
made shaming, Harry?
Is Ceres a planet?
Ceres?
Did we talk about
the asteroid Ceres?
Oh,
is
yeah.
that a planet? If Pluto's a planet, is Ceres a planet? Also, is Eros a planet?
And that
If it floats your all's boats, then yes.
there's a bunch of them.
It's a dwarf
I also
There's
forgot to.
7 or 8 that would qualify.
Oh, God! I have to do this one too. Skep, you remember where you used to live near Monterey?
Yes.
A bear outside your window, not what you expect to see in Monterey. I saw a shadow.
I used to run up
running
there.
that way, and I'm like,
That's not an awe. Sorry,
Not
that's
a
not
shadow,
an awe.
but a bear. Rose Hill took these frightening photos from her bedroom in the Long Mesa neighborhood. She
Pet
says
that
her
dog.
family was woken up around 3 in the morning by barking and howling. When they looked outside, they were shocked to see a bear trailing slowly behind a coyote.
At freaking Jack's Peak. I can't believe that.
This is so close to where you used to live, Skep. This is practically your neighborhood.
Well, I used to run there. That was my run, was running on that access road to the park.
Yep.
Running the whole road to the top of Jack's Peak and then running home.
Yeah.
That was my run.
Yeah, and you never ran into a bear anytime you were there, I'm guessing.
I never ran into a bear.
And that's a good size bear. That's not like a little baby. That's like the real thing.
That's adult.
On a side note, though, what's with all the curly hair dudes? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
Oh, that guy looks like he's at least naturally curly haired, not the guy who got his hair permed.
I don't know. He's a Carmel resident, which means he's one of those stupid Carmel High graduates, probably. Don't even get me started.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh yeah, and then there's also mountain
I have
lions.
fun.
Yeah.
Yay, mountain lion. Oh, kitty.
There's also the otters. Don't forget the otters in Texas.
Well, how about otters in Santa Cruz? Guess who's back? Otter 841 is back.
All right.
Oh,
Otter
she's pregnant. She's pregnant again.
Is she?
Well, I mean, she's stealing like she was.
Yeah, well, apparently now that she's no longer taking care of that, she's back and she's being aggressive toward people again, which means we might see more of that weird Scooby-Doo chase scene thing going on with them and the Fish and Wildlife folks.
It might be now that they know that's a sign that either A, she's looking to get laid, or B, that means she's pregnant. So now they're probably just gonna be like, all right, everybody just stay away. We're gonna wait till she gives birth, and then we're gonna just let her do what she needs to do.
Yeah, she's back. There she is. Otter 841, busy taking on surfboards again.
She's like, get off my surfboard, bitch. Get off my surfboard, bitch. Get off my surfboard,
I'm the
bitch.
captain now.
Yeah.
This is the best part of 2023.
Yeah. I knew you'd like that.
I'm the captain now.
I am the captain now.
You know, this is the equivalent of getting on some dating app for otters and being like, hey, I'm out here. Come on.
It's like, hey, baby.
I was trying to find a way to turn that into a joke, like only clams. No, they don't eat clams. That's stupid. That doesn't work. Only fins. No, they don't have fins. They're mammals.
Only paws.
Only paws. There we go. Nice. Nice.
I'm not as tired as you, Harry.
Well, I think Skep's more tired than me. We need to call it.
About otter fans.
So
Otter fans works too. That's what they do.
Anybody have anything else we need to cover before we go?
Don't let the universe black pill you. Be white pilled.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be okay.
I have
Yeah.
a prediction.
Yeah.
Boeing Starliner will never successfully launch. They will never have a successful mission. If they do launch, it will not be successful, and it might kill those people.
Yeah. I think
Watch
Starliner
this
is in.
space.
I think with enough money and stubbornness, they can send that thing up. The problem is that there's a lot of momentum, I think, building toward just calling it and just not doing it, because when it comes to being rated for human space flight, they kind of don't screw around with stuff like this. This looks like the kind of vehicle that's going to get people killed.
Yes, it does. That's exactly my feeling. And if they proceed with this, they're going to kill some good people. And what they need, I agree with you. I think what they need to do is just walk away.
Yeah, I didn't cover the basically them canceling the launch again because it's
they're looking
just
like
sad.
the gang that can't shoot straight. You know, today's postponement was like stuff. Oh, sorry, I didn't check that. What?
Yeah. Well, I know Jerry Pournelle is an asshole, but have any of you read the book King David's Spaceship?
Yeah, I've read a lot of Jerry Pournelle.
But did you read that?
I did not read that. I read Footfall and stuff like that.
Okay, so this is not one of his collaborative things. So, but straight up Jerry Pournelle, King David's Spaceship is actually a pretty interesting book. And it's essentially the crux of it is relatively primitive planet. They want to, for reasons, political reasons, they need to be recognized as being space going, or things are going to go poorly for them. They're essentially going to be massively cucked if they can't pull this off. So it's a relatively primitive culture trying to put somebody into space. And the story of how this unfolds is actually better than I'm describing. It's a pretty good book. King David's Spaceship, one that you probably won't hear recommended very often because it's not that well known.
This is in the MotZ universe, isn't it?
I believe so, but that doesn't
It
really
is.
play much of a part in it.
Who's the author?
Jerry Pournelle.
Jerry Pournelle. The Mote in God's Eye is what I was thinking of.
Well, the Niven and Pournelle stuff is just fantastic. Most people don't.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's some of it's excellent. It's Heinlein quality. Even better. Some of the writing's better than
Maybe next time I pick up a stream, we can actually just talk about science fiction for 2 hours. Because
I would love that.
Let's talk about Piers Anthony for 20 minutes and then just keep going. It'll be fine. Everything's fine.
Poole Anderson, I got you, bro.
Yeah. Well, this isn't ending if I don't
Clifford Simak.
call it. Anybody else have anything they want to say? Go, Sora.
Also, fun thing.
Yeah.
We're having a planet parade on
All 8 of them?
technically on the 3rd.
9.
So
Is this all of Romania?
Russia.
Kazakhstan.
if you want to see planets in the night sky, you'll be able to see Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter very clearly. Mercury, if you catch it at the right time of morning and you have a clear sky.
I love the fact you can hear Sora grind her teeth.
So there is a word. There is a word. It's a very strange word and a great one to know if you're playing Scrabble. And no, Skep, you don't get to say it. That describes when all the planets are essentially lined up. That state. Does anybody other than Skep know it? Syzygy. Syzygy. S-Y-Z-Y-G-Y.
S-Y-Z, right. Syzygy.
That is a word you will not hear very often. But yeah, go look up the word syzygy in the dictionary. And with that, the zoo is closed. Good night, everybody.
Bye.